Well, a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Shop on TV with me, Rob Lock, with an E. And it's that time again. I'm really, really proud to introduce you to what I genuinely believe is the very best bedding that money can buy. And also bedding that does something really quite unique, unlike any other bedding that I've ever experienced on the planet. We're talking duvets, we're talking pillows, even mattresses, and even pillowcases. Now, it might sound crazy to say that these have technology, and I don't know if technology is the right word, but they contain AAA grade Mulberry silk, which is literally, and I do mean literally, the absolute finest quality silk that money can buy anywhere on the planet. You could have a truckload of money, and if you wanted the finest silk money could buy, it would be AAA grade Mulberry silk. So there's luxury, but silk also, it keeps you warm in the winter, and it actually helps to keep you cool in the summer. So now's the time to get these duvets and these pillows, because if you, when those hot, sticky, sweaty nights start coming, are going to have trouble sleeping, you're going to be sweating buckets into your pillow and all over your bed, this is going to help alleviate that, because silk also wicks away 30% of its own weight in moisture. And also, the duvets have got a 10-year guarantee. You can put them in a regular washing machine. The pillows you can put in a regular washing machine and wash them to your heart's content as many times as you like. They carry the Allergy UK seal of approval for effectiveness against dust mites, because dust mites do not like to live in silk. It's like living in the Sahara Desert. You get a few stragglers that might wander in, but they leave pretty quickly. We'll talk about that more later. Also, you have, as we start talking about the extraordinary properties, and you start finding yourself thinking, as I know you will, I've got to own this now. You have a very easy decision to make, because you're not going to buy these tonight. You're going to try these tonight. Now, you're going to put your money down, and when you decide you want to keep them, sure, paid up, ready to go, keep them. But if for any reason you're not satisfied, if for any reason all of the things we state, all of the claims we make tonight, which we have to be very careful about because we're on ITV, obviously, and we're a very honest company and very honest people. But if for any reason you're not satisfied, you can get all of your money back. Well, except the P&P, because we have to pay the postman. I've got Mulberry silk. I've slept under my Mulberry silk duvet on my Mulberry silk pillows. I've got the mattress. I've also got a mattress topper, and I've had those for about 7 years. And in fact, since we moved our studios to Warrington, we're about we've just rented a house with multiple rooms for all the crew, and we're going to deck it all out with Mulberry silk as well. And there's a reason. It is the best bedding money can buy, I believe, in my experience. But you're not going to have to listen to me drone on for the next 3 hours or 2 hours and 45 minutes, because we have a man whose dulcet tones, I think they invented radio for this man. I really do, because he's a smooth operator. He's one of the most genuine and decent people and down-to-earth people I've ever had the good fortune to meet. Please say hello to the owner of the exclusive distributor of Mulberry silk in this country, and obviously not just any old Mulberry silk, but the official Mulberry Silk Company Limited. It's the one and only Ray Kennedy. Hello,
Hi,
sir.
Rob.
How are you?
Good morning, Rob. I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
And looking forward to the show very much.
Me also. I always like to do a little summary at the start, because there's a shopping list of reasons why you buy this bedding. I mean, if you want the best, forget the rest, really, is the way I look at this.
Well, if you buy the best, you're more or less guaranteed to get quality and performance.
Yes.
And what I should mention right at the beginning of the show, because I think is very important in this present economic climate, Rob, it's important that the viewer gets value for money.
Yeah.
And I'd like to mention this right at the very beginning of the show. Everything we have on offer this morning, you're actually offering it at a price which is slightly less than we were charging for it 22 years ago when we first launched it in television.
Yeah.
So value for money, undoubtedly, no question about that whatsoever. A 10-year warranty and a money-back guarantee. No arguing, no fighting on the telephone. Anything you buy, if you're not totally satisfied, we will refund your money with the same speed and the same civility that we take it from you. no problem.
So, gosh, where to start? Let's, before we start talking about the bedding, apart from the fact, I mean, boy, does it look good. I mean, talk about the hotel quality look.
Yeah.
But also, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty about silk. But I want people to understand also that it's not just about quality, it's about longevity.
Yes.
Value for money. If you buy cheap, you buy twice.
You buy twice.
How long do people...
How long would you expect one to last?
Well, at least 10 years, because it's got a 10-year guarantee.
It has a 10-year warranty.
Yeah.
The duvets we have in my bed at home, Rob, are now 30 years old.
Good Lord.
And that's a fact.
Still going strong.
My wife washes them on average 2 or 3 times every year.
Yeah.
And as you know from previous shows we have done, Rob, we as a company have been in business for 66 years. And for 36 of those years, we've attended every major exhibition in Britain selling silk products. And I constantly get people who come up to our stands at exhibitions. They say, you know, I've got one of your duvets. It's wonderful. I've had it 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
When you buy this, you're buying it as an investment. You won't have to replace it in 2 or 3 years, or 4 or 5 years' time.
Yeah.
There's only 2 parts to this duvet. The top cover and the filling within the top cover. Now the top cover is Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count. Anything over 180 is considered to be luxury.
And it's long fibre, isn't it?
Well, it's long fibre. Now, I'm glad you pointed that out. Cotton, if you pick cotton using a mechanical device or a machine, cotton becomes stressed and it breaks, and you get short fibre cotton. Yep. And virtually all of the cotton sold in the United Kingdom is short fibre. If you pick it by hand, it's a more gentle process, and it doesn't break.
Right.
So what happens is you get long fibre cotton. A long fibre cotton, ironically, is softer than short fibre cotton. It's stronger. It can be woven in a slightly different way. It's extra more breathable than the short fibre cotton, and it feels better to the touch. It's just total luxury. So the top cover is perfect, Rob.
Yes.
And the filling within the top cover is AAA grade Mulberry silk.
Full length?
Full length. Each strand of silk within this duvet, unbroken, is over 1 mile long. Wow. Unbroken. Yeah. And if any customer or any potential customer would like to go into Google or Wikipedia and type in all about silk, this is what they'll tell you, word for word. Now remember, they're not trying to sell you a duvet. They're just answering questions. Yep. You type in all about silk, and they will tell you within the silk industry, Mulberry silk is considered to be the king of silks. Yep. The king.
Why is that, and why is it called Mulberry silk?
Well, it's called Mulberry because it's special. How we get the silk, Rob, might interest the viewer. We take the silkworm, we place it in a large metal tray roughly the size of this bed. We place the metal tray into a darkened room, containing the worm into a darkened room, and we keep it there for 35, 36 days. And we feed the worm exclusively in mulberry leaves. Now there's 3 different colors of mulberry leaves, red, black and white. If you feed the worm in the red and black, you get very high quality mulberry silk. But Rob, if you feed it on the white mulberry leaf, you suddenly take a step up.
Right.
And you get the highest and the best quality silk in the world.
AAA grade.
AAA grade mulberry, which the bedding industry, the silk industry, call it the king of silks. Yeah. Now, there can only be one king.
Absolutely.
Others would like to be king.
Pretenders.
But they're pretenders, only one king. So top cover, Egyptian cotton, long fibre, 230 thread count. The filling, pure mulberry silk, no inferior fibres mixed in with it.
So first of all, how many miles of silk?
Well, we reckon in a duvet at least 15 miles.
So at 15 full strands.
Full
and how are they how does that get
Well, because it's long fibre, because it's unbroken in one long
You can see them on the screen,
strand,
actually. Yes,
they can stitch it all the way around the perimeter. Now, Rob, that's done by hand. It can take 2 skilled operators a day, sometimes longer, to make one of these duvets. Now, they stitch it all the way around the perimeter. Now it's anchored, it can't move. Then they pull it towards themselves and they put these box cassettes in. Now that means 2 things. Number 1, the silk is held and it cannot move. And when you sleep under it, it is a cocoon fiber designed, not by man, by Mother Nature, to gently fold itself around you. It's not heavy, it doesn't press down, it's not restrictive. It gently folds itself around you and it stays there. It doesn't walk away in the middle of the night. You don't waken up at 4 o'clock in the morning, one leg dangling out the bed, backside sticking out the duvet off, duvet on, duvet off, duvet on. You're cocooned. But even more important, you get an even distribution of heat.
Yes.
Perfect. And when you wash it, a cold wash, 30 degrees, wash it as often as you want. As often as you want, no problem. 30 degrees, cold wash. Wash it. Washes quick, dries quick in the dryer. Once or twice a year, on a warm sunny day like today, drop it over the washing line in the garden, and the UV rays of the sun totally purify and cleanse it. No dust mites in silk. Wonderful.
Where to start? So, the story I always tell, in fact, I'll tell the story in a minute. If you have any questions before you buy, please do drop us an email, studio@shopontv.co.uk. If you've bought Mulberry Silk on the last show, I think I did ask, would you do us a favour and drop us a message for the next show to tell us how you're getting on with it. And that's because I always issue a challenge. And this is the challenge. So during lockdown, when I was working on ITV but for a different company, and it was -7 degrees in the dead of winter, and because all the hotels were closed except for key workers, our CEO put these, they were essentially little mini porter cabins in the car park of the studio complex called bunker bins. If you want to look up bunker bin, they're fun. It's like being in solitary confinement for 6 months. But I'd done a show with Ray, and Ray's, I was like, wow, this is it's the first time I'd heard of Mulberry Silk and heard the story, and I was like, wow, that sounds too good to be true. But I was freezing me off in the bunker bin. So I procured a single duvet from Ray, and I took it back to my bunker bin, and I thought, I'm going to put this to the test. So I didn't have any heating on, it -7 outside, remember, and -6.5 inside. And I disrobed, I got into bed, I covered myself with my duvet, and it took a few minutes to get up to temperature, if you like, and I got nice and toasty warm, and I thought, this is lovely. I'm going to wait and see if I overheat. And I waited, and I was like, this is going to get too hot, it's going to get too hot, it's going to get too hot, it's going to get too hot. Never did. Silk has this property, nature-made property, that dissipates sufficient heat that it keeps you regulated at just the right temperature, whatever temperature you are or whatever temperature you need. So you, lying next to somebody under the same duvet, if you run hot, they run cold, you're going to get your own bespoke temperature regulation. So it's going to be ideal, toasty warm, but never too hot, just for you. And also similarly in the summer, because essentially the silk, it's almost like, like electricity is conducted through wire. It's almost like heat is conducted through silk. That's not probably the sort of scientific explanation, but it's, as an analogy, you get the point, right? And so it could be literally 30 degrees outside, and you cover yourself in a silk duvet, and it actively, it doesn't cool you down, it's not air conditioning, but it dissipates the excess heat, so you feel cooler. So you don't need a summer duvet, you don't need a winter duvet. The first thing you'll think when you get this home, I mean, look how thick that is. It's actually the size of a summer duvet. You'll think to yourself, that's way, 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 way too thin. How can that possibly keep me warm? But it's because of the silk. If you think about it, the silkworm grows exclusively, or live exclusively in China. And as are the mulberry leaves that they're fed upon. So it's seasonal. So when the worms aren't in the their cycle of turning into moths. Mulberry silk, they just stop. Well, they don't make it anymore because it's not available. They won't lower their standards. But the point is that, believe it or not, will keep you, even in -7 or more degree or less degrees, will keep you warm, and in 30+ degrees it will help to keep you cool. And it has to do that for when the worm spins the cocoon. That's exactly what this is for, isn't it?
Quite right to point that out to the viewer, Rob. When we do a live exhibition, people can actually come up to our stand, and of course they can touch the duvet.
Yeah.
And when they touch it, every single person, they all say the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a minute, this is very thin. Are you sure this will keep me warm in the winter? Mm-hmm. And before I can answer, they then say, what TOG rating is it? Mm-hmm. Now, Rob, there's no official TOG rating with silk.
It's a natural fibre.
The reason being, silk is a low conductor of heat.
Yeah.
It manufactures and retains heat in a different fashion to, say, duck, goose feather, or man-made fibres. And you're quite right to point out, very often, when people share a bed, one person likes the bed warm, the other person likes it less warm. Well, you can both sleep under this duvet and be perfectly comfortable. It self-reflects. People say to me, it sounds wonderful. How is this possible? The honest answer is, Rob, nobody knows.
Right.
The only person that knows is Mother Nature.
Mother Nature, yeah.
She's had the secret under lock and key for 5,000 years. But it's a simple fact of life. Silk will keep you really warm in the winter. We're a Canadian company based in Vancouver, and I often sell these on television in Canada. And when you go up to Quebec in the winter, it can be -30.
Yeah.
And we've been selling them in TV in Canada for 30-odd years. And can I tell you, if we were saying it keeps you warm in the winter and it wasn't keeping you warm, we'd have an awful lot of unhappy people. Yeah. And we couldn't go back in television for 30 years selling the same product. Warm in the winter, really warm, and cool in the summer. Simple.
And also, you go mountaineering, skiing, anything that's or the people that go to the Antarctic.
Yeah.
Or, the North Pole, what do they have in their clothing to keep them warm? Silk. So, and this is the premium quality, literally best of the best silk you can get. We'll talk about imitations and other people that try to, or other brands that try to be mulberry silk. There is no other. And again, I told you the claims about this were going to be pretty impressive. And yeah, sure, if it was all true, you'd want one, wouldn't you, right now? Oh, wait, it is all true. And actually, don't worry, if for any reason you were thinking, in fact, do worry. Do worry, be skeptical. That's exactly what I want you to be, because you'll get your money back. If this turns out to be absolute balderdash and everything we've said is untrue, RK Sales, the UK distributor of this product, RK, Ray K. Kennedy, he's sitting right there, and their company, and they can't run away, by the way. They've been in business for what, 60 years?
66.
Yeah, 66. All their contact details are on the tag. They will give you every single penny of your money back. As I say, the only thing that's non-refundable is the P&P. So essentially, you've got whatever time you need to make your mind up for a £5. And by the way, it's capped P&P. You could put 10 of these and 50 duvets and 100 pillowcases in your basket and check them out right now. And you'd only pay £4.95 P&P once per order. But the pillows, by the way, they have a fibre core to give them stability, and then around the outside is wrapped again miles and miles of AAA grade mulberry silk. And I'm just telling you before, okay, we're just going to pop the info for the pillow in. I was about to go one way and my producer was about to go the other way, and we ended up crossing. Well, you said that you wanted them to know how important the pillow was, so I'm just saying, check out your pillow if it's in your basket, because that pillow also will go in a washing machine. I usually do one in a 7.5 kilo regular front-loading washing machine. You can do two, but they're a bit smushed. I like to do one just so it's got some room to move around. But here is the pricing for the duvets. This is the bit I was trying to get to. By the way, standard-sized UK bedding. You can, if you wish to, put a duvet cover over the duvets. They do present themselves beautifully. You don't need a duvet cover at all, actually, if white is your theme. But also, the other thing to point out is, please, for the love of goodness, if you do put a sheet, or sorry, a pillowcase on your pillow and a duvet cover on your duvet, don't do them the other way around, that'd be silly, then make sure that they are also natural fibres. I recommend, if you go to Amazon or anywhere else, there are other places, but I bought mine from Amazon, you can get a set of long fibre cotton, Egyptian cotton, duvet pillowcases, all of that for about 30 quid. If you put man-made fibres on top of the natural fibres properties won't work because they'll be blocked. Now, single, usually 169. We've got it for 139. So bear in mind, 10 years guarantee. That's $13.90 a year. But we always like to say, or I always like to say, this is probably the last duvet you'll ever need to buy because this could last you 20, 30 or more years. If you're middle-aged now, the duvet and the pillow might outlive you. If you've got kids that you're buying these for to help them sleep better, then they'll be middle-aged by the time they might even think about ever needing to change it. We've got 179 for the double and normally 239. The king is 199. That's normally 259, and the Super King normally 279. We've got it for 219. This is also a great time to think about upgrading because if you've got a single, get a double, and then you've got that hotel drape. Unless you don't like drape, but if you do like drape, now's your time to do it. So you're investing in the future. In that 10 years or 20 or 30 years that you'll own Mulberry Silk products, you'll probably have replaced your pillows umpteen times. Because they'll have, especially if they're hollow fibre, they'll be filled with sweat, bacteria, dust mites, spit, dribble, dust mite droppings, dust mite carcasses. And I'm sorry, but it is a cesspool in those pillows. And they'll have flattened and they'll be useless. And the same with your duvet as well. After several months, the weight of your pillow and the weight of your duvet, a good proportion of that is dust mites, their droppings, and the carcasses of their former relatives. And I'm not trying to ick you out here. It's fact. Now, it's actually the poo that is the allergen. So this has the Allergy UK. I did the price for the Super King and King, Leslie. No, I did. I did the single, double, King and Super King. I did. I promise you. Sorry, we're just having a little confab with the
Lover's tiff.
producer. I'll bet you £1,000 I did. Anyway, so Allergy UK, seal of approval. And this is a very special certificate, isn't it?
Right. Every bedding company in the United Kingdom would love to have that certificate. They would really love to have it.
Yep.
Now, I say this as a compliment, not as a criticism. The Allergy Board are very difficult people to satisfy.
Sure.
They're based in Warwick University. Now, what they do, they issue this coveted certificate, and they issue it, they're very clever, Rob. If you look down at the bottom here, they issue it for 1 year at a time. Now, they do that for a reason. They can walk into our premises at any time and check that our premises are clean, hygienic, and we are making no false claims.
Yes.
In other words, they can keep an eye on us and make sure that our manufacturing standards don't drop. Because very often you go into a place of business, you'll see certificates in the wall, they're brown with age, they've been there 30 or 40 years. And occasionally, not always of course, but occasionally companies let their standards drop. Cannot happen with us. We're watched and policed.
We're about to join STV, or I suppose STV technically are about to join us.
Okay.
So we've been just on exclusively on ITV, and so sometimes we sort of start, the broadcasters have different schedules and we start at different times. So we're about to join STV. Check out On Your Duvet now, please, seriously, because everybody needs to sleep, and at the end of the day, it's about improving the quality of your sleep. So more coming up when STV join after this. Well, hello to STV viewers everywhere. We've been on ITV for the last half an hour or so, 25 minutes. But hello to you. This is Shop on TV. I'm Rob Locke with an E. How would you like to buy the best bedding that money can buy? Well, I believe we have it tonight. How would you like to have the best night's sleep that you possibly can with the problems that bad bedding creates? Solved in one fell swoop tonight. Well, we believe we have the answer for that as well. So do stay tuned. We're talking about Mulberry silk, which is the absolute king of silk. It is the best quality silk money can buy, AAA grade. And actually, we've got a testimonial here from Kevin. Hi, Kevin. So he said, I have these duvets, and they are amazing. By the way, numerous people are asking, do you wash the pillows, duvet in detergent or fabric softener? Yeah. You do. You can use, if you use gel, whatever your normal stuff is.
Yeah.
Gel, powder, liquid, and fabric softener's fine as well.
No problem.
Yeah, no problem at all. 30 degrees, that's all you need to do. And by the way, I live in a 2-bedroom flat. And and I'm on the 5th floor, and I don't have a balcony. So we have a little clothes horse that I basically, when I take it out after the spin, because you can spin dry them full speed, and I just double them up and lay them over the clothes horse, and they take about, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours to dry. Very quick, very easy. Silk dries very quickly. Oh, those have gone. So I just went blank screen. Okay. So, and by the way, when you see the duvet and the pillows, standard size bedding. And I was just saying, for the benefit of STV viewers, when I was talking to the ITV folks a moment ago, now everybody's watching, make sure that you use natural fibre if you are going to go for a pillowcase, well, silk preferably. And actually, 20% of the stock of the King's gone already. We've actually got 100% silk, Mulberry silk pillowcases on the show as well. They'll be down on the bottom of the screen for you. But duvets, duvet covers, you don't need them, but you can. But make sure they are, I would recommend Egyptian cotton. Get the long fibre if you can, then it's the same quality. And you can get a good 300 thread count, something like that. About 30 quid for 2 pillowcases and a duvet. And then the fitted sheet on the bottom if you want to as well, particularly if you buy the mattress. You don't want to block the properties of the Mulberry silk, do you? So here's Ray Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen. Ray Kennedy, RK, is from RK Sales, who are the official distributor of the Mulberry silk products from the official Mulberry Silk Company Limited, based in Canada. In
Vancouver, yeah.
So can you extol the virtues of these duvets in a moment to everybody that's just joined us? But I just want to say before Ray does that, I absolutely assure you, having slept under on my Mulberry silk bedding products for 7 years, there is nothing better that I've tried, and I've tried it all. So if you haven't got these yet, you're going to sleep better if you don't keep waking up at night because you're hot, throwing the duvet off, then getting cold, putting it back on again. That interrupts your sleep. That gives you what they call toxic sleep. So this helps prevent that, helps you stay asleep, fall asleep quicker, stay asleep for the full 5 cycles, about an hour and a half, to get the full recuperative, regenerative, restorative sleep that you need. So instead of waking up feeling cranky, like I've been in bed 8 hours and I'm still tired, all of that malarkey, as long as you meet the other criteria needed for a good night's sleep, which we'll talk about later. The bedding is the big one though. The mattress, the pillow you put your head on, and the duvet you sleep under, this is going to help you sleep better. That's ultimately what you're buying for your money, is a good night's sleep and a comfortable night's sleep. So in a nutshell, what's Mulberry silk and why should everybody buy it? And why do you think it's the best in the world?
3 reasons mainly, Rob. The main one is quite simple. As you know from previous shows we have done, we exhibit at every major exhibition in the United Kingdom.
Yep.
We have done for 66 years. And for 36 of those years, we've been selling silk products. Now, when we're at a live exhibition, people can talk to us, they can touch the product, and we get their opinion. Now, Rob, 10% of all the people I speak to at a live exhibition, they don't want one of my duvets. They're perfectly happy with the duvet they have in the bed. The other 90%, every single one of them, they all have the same complaint. They get too hot in bed. Mm-hmm. Not too cold, too hot. Yeah. They're waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, one leg dangling out the bed, backside sticking out the duvet, duvet off, duvet on, duvet off, duvet on. Now they're awake when they should be asleep. And one of the main reasons why they're awake, probably the very main reason, they're simply too hot. Now silk stops that happening. This is an all-weather duvet. It will positively keep you warm in the winter, really warm, and it will keep you cool in the summer. And people say to me, how is that possible? Well, I wish I knew. The only person that knows is Mother Nature. It's a freak of nature. Warm in the winter, cool in the summer. This particular duvet, which we have on offer this morning, has a 10-year warranty. When you buy it, it's guaranteed for 10 years.
So as I said earlier, with a single, which is £139,
yes.
After 10 years, it's cost you $13.90 a year.
Yeah. Now, although it has a 10-year warranty, Rob, the duvets we have in my bed at home are 30 years old. Now, I mentioned earlier, we exhibit at every major exhibition in Britain. We go back to the same exhibition year in, year out, on the same location. And I constantly get people who come up to me and they say, got one? Had it 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. It's very nice when people do that. It gives you a nice feeling. You've sold somebody a product which is an investment.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy another one in 7 or 8 years' time. When you buy cheap, you buy twice. And in the long run, it costs you a lot of money. When you buy quality, I mean, let me tell you, nothing, absolutely nothing beats quality. Quality wins every single time. And the quality of this product is absolutely stunning. The top cover, Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count. Anything above 180 is considered to be luxury. But it's not ordinary cotton, it's long fiber. If you pick cotton using a mechanical device or a machine, cotton becomes stressed, Rob, and it breaks, and you get short strand cotton.
Yeah.
And virtually all the cotton currently being sold in the United Kingdom is short strand. If you pick it by hand, it's a much more gentle process, and cotton doesn't break.
Yeah.
And you get long fiber cotton. Now, the advantage of each strand is long, very long, and the advantage of long fiber cotton, it can be woven in a slightly different way, so it's even more breathable than short fiber cotton.
Yeah.
It's softer, it's more luxurious to the touch, it's nicer to sleep under, and best of all, it's going to last a long, long time. So we only have 2 parts to the duvet. Each part is the best of the best. Inside the cotton cover, you have AAA grade Mulberry silk. Check it out, go into Wikipedia, type in all about silk. For your own peace of mind, do this, please, if you're thinking about buying one of my duvets. Type in all about silk, and this is what they will tell you, word for word. They will say, within the silk industry, Mulberry silk is considered to be the king of silks, the best of the best. So you have AAA grade Mulberry silk, you have Egyptian cotton long fiber, a 10-year warranty, a money-back guarantee, a machine washable duvet that's going to last you the best part of your adult life. And here's the best news, Rob. This will stun the viewers. Everything we are offering in this show this morning, the duvet, we are offering it at a price which is slightly less than we were charging for it when we first launched it on television in the United Kingdom 22 years ago. Imagine you went into a shop, any shop, wherever you live, and you said, I want to buy, say, a shirt. And you say, I want to pay less than I paid for it 22 years ago. They would die laughing. But that's the offer you have this morning from Shop and TV. Buy it, try it, money back if you're not pleased.
Plus, we've made it as easy as we can for you because First of all, as I say, it's capped postage and packing. So $4.95. All of the products are $4.95. We only charge that once per order. So you could have a bajillion of things in your basket, and you're only going to pay the $4.95. You only ever pay the first $4.95 at one time. So that's number one. And also you've got PayPal Pay in 3. If you want to spread the cost interest free over 3 months, then use PayPal or select it at checkout. But do make sure you check out. Look, I was looking at the weather forecast, and it's been quite chilly the last few nights.
During the night, yeah.
Warm days, but really cold nights. Now, I work shifts, so I kind of get caught in between the transition where I'm cold and then the sun starts coming up and it gets warm very quickly. But we're back into the 20s, then the mid to high 20s in a few days. So you might find that, and at night it's going to be the 14, 15, 16 degrees around that kind of thing. This is the time you should, if you're quick enough, when you place your order now, you should be able to get this in time before that hot weather strikes, and certainly get it in time before the real summer heat starts, when it doesn't cool down at night, because this will help you stay cool.
Well, it's ironical, Rob. This will surprise perhaps some of the viewers. We're in, I'm not being boastful when I say this. Please don't think I'm being Johnny Bighead. But we're in a position where we're in a position where, fortunately, we can sell more than we can make. That's a fact. And ironically, we sell more duvets, slightly more in the summer than we do in the winter.
Yeah.
Because in the summer, my wife, for instance, in the winter, my wife likes to sleep with the bedroom window slightly open.
Yeah.
But in the summer, she closes it because she worries about wasps and moths and all sorts of stuff flying into the bedroom during the night. Yeah. And I know from talking to people at exhibitions, a lot of ladies and men think exactly like my wife. So in the summer, people overheat tremendously in bed.
Sure.
Silk stops that happening. If you share a bed with someone who overheats and sweats, this is the duvet for you. And any lady going through the menopause, that terrible time where you have cold sweats, hot sweats, it's awful, and it can last for years. Please buy yourself one of these duvets. As far as your sleep is concerned, it will change your life. And if it doesn't, it's not like a husband. You're not married to it. You don't have to keep it. Just send it back.
Yeah. Instant
refund, no arguing. If you are going through the menopause, treat yourself to a silk duvet. It's the best thing you'll ever do.
And if you're not going through the menopause, it's the best duvet you'll ever buy. Honestly, I can't guarantee that. There's, everybody is different. But in my experience, and can I tell you something? Genuinely, every single member of the crew here, every single person who works at Shop on TV owns Mulberry Silk. All my friends and family, Mulberry Silk. Anyone I know, because they see me on telly, and invariably what happens, because no one ever believes me when I'm on telly, because it's just, that's the dynamic, isn't it? As you're sitting there, you're probably thinking, yeah, Paul, the other one, it's just some sales talk, I don't get any commissions for this, by the way. If I had, do you know what? If I had £1 for every Mulberry Silk product that was sold, oh, crikey, I probably would have retired by now. Because people buy these in their hundreds and thousands on certain shows, and over the last, 7 years, we must have sold easily 100,000 products between the two.
Oh,
or probably a lot.
Much more than that, Rob.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, no, that wouldn't even be very much, would it?
No, it wouldn't be.
Because I remember it was one night, 7,000 pillows, wasn't it? Something.
Yeah.
That seemed to recall. But anyway, look, we're not saying that to boast. But do you know how many of those were returned? Hardly any.
Well, we'll come to that in a minute. I'll shock you.
Well, yeah.
I'll shock the viewers.
Yeah. Honestly, and the main thing is, if you've got anyone who has asthma, allergies, things like that, please, for the love of goodness, get yourself Mulberry Silk, because it's, as far as we know, the only bedding, certainly the only duvet that actually carries the coveted Allergy UK seal of approval. And that, by the way, there's a date on it. It has to be reviewed and renewed every single year. So in fact, July 2025 is almost up.
Anybody who's suffering with allergies, the average duvet, they reckon, can have as many as 5 million dust mites in it at any given time. Now, the lifespan of a dust mite is 10 weeks.
Right.
After 10 weeks, it dies. And there's a clue in the name, dust. When I die, I'll turn to dust.
Yeah.
And so do the dust mites.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're sleeping under a duvet or if you're sleeping on a pillow that's full of dust mites, if you have asthma, hay fever, COPD, emphysema, something like that,
Yeah.
surely common sense will tell you, get rid of the dust mites. It's going to be a big help.
Take away the aggravant.
Yes, that's exactly.
And also think about it, and again, we're not trying to ski or anything like that, obviously, but it is a factor of life. And dust mites are harmless to us. I mean, they're a factor of life, but it's their poo, it's their waste that's the allergen.
And
but if the life cycle is 10 days, so they die every 10 days.
I'm laughing here. This is a fact. Again, the viewer can, if they feel like it, check this in Wikipedia.
Yeah.
A dust mite poos 20 times a day at least.
Wow.
It's a fact.
Obviously a high fibre diet.
Yes.
But also then if they're every 10 days they die, and there are hundreds of them, let's say.
Millions.
Well, eventually.
They're so small you can't see them.
No.
But there are millions. In a pillow, they reckon there's at least 1 million.
Good.
In a duvet, between 3 to 5 million.
And over the course of several months, the weight of the pillow and duvet.
Well, they reckon, I think it was the New York Times years ago, did a special program about pillows with dust mites, and they reckon the average pillow doubles in weight in a year with dead dust mites.
Good Lord.
Well, they reckon that. Yeah. They did the test.
But so the upshot of that is, and also particularly with hollow fibre and feathers, because they're so hot, and you sweat into them, they become moist, and that is the perfect environment for bacteria. So they get smelly and they degrade, and
When a dust mite sees silk, it emigrates, it packs a bag, it walks away. Yeah. It's simply, there's no place in silk for dust mites. That's not Raymond saying that. No. That's not Rob saying it. No. That's the official
Allergy UK,
British. It tells you there in black and white. Dust mites in silk, none.
As always, these shows are phenomenally busy because when you can't keep a good product down, can you, at the end of the day? So let me go through the prices, and I'm going to be very concise here. The single is normally £169. We have it for £139. And as I said the last time I mentioned it, if you've got it for 10 years, that's $13.90 a year, but you'll have it for so many more years. We're such a close-knit family at Shop on TV. I'm taking the mickey out of my producer, but they.
Rob, you're going to lose.
Yes.
She's a woman.
I know.
Lose.
I realize.
You've got no chance.
I realise, but that's why. And how much? What's the percentage of the stock of the single that's gone? 10% of the stock of the single. The double and king are always our top sellers. The double, $239 normally. We've got it for $179, and a third of the stock of that has already been spoken for. The king size, a third of the stock of that has gone. It's normally $259, and we have tonight we've got it for $199. And the super king, $279 normally. We've got it for $219, and a quarter of the stock of that has gone. You've got to get them quickly, because when this lot of stock sells out, we had enough up, we did one show already, here's show number 2, it was 4 months, we had a 4-month gap, because when the silkworms are not in season and the mulberry silk leaves are not in season, they just shut down production because they will not ever sacrifice the quality.
Well, Rob, the reason is that the tree, to get AAA grade mulberry silk, we have to feed the worm on the white mulberry leaf.
Yes.
Now, the tree that provides the white mulberry leaf only flourishes in any commercial quantity in southern China. So we constantly run out of AAA grade silk, and when we do, we stop manufacturing.
And I mean, that is incredible. There aren't many businesses that would do that. And again, we'll get on to how other businesses don't do that because they use inferior product or inferior ingredients. Ingredients, is that the word? Inferior materials. By the way, so here's the thing. Ideally, you want to be in a cocoon, just like a silkworm, because the cocoon is designed to protect it from the elements. It gets extremely hot during the day, extremely cold at night. Oh, gee, and yet the Mulberry Silk Duvet does the same thing for you. Also protects it from the rain, from all of the elements. It's incredibly strong as well. It has to protect it from predators. I'm not guaranteeing that this duvet will protect you from predators, but maybe predatory children at night who come in and try and join you in bed. I don't know. So if you can sleep on mulberry silk as well, which is what I do, I am mulberry silked up. This is a more affordable way of sleeping on mulberry silk. So this is a mulberry silk mattress pad in all 4 sizes. Now you can go the whole hog as I did and get the actual cocoon mattress.
Yeah.
But I got the cocoon mattress. I've also, now we don't sell them on Shop on TV, but if you go to RK Sales website, you can also get mattress protectors, which are essentially a mulberry silk duvet, but with an elasticated gusset. So I sleep on mulberry silk, I sleep with my head on a mulberry silk pillow, and I sleep under a mulberry silk duvet. So that for £189, that's the, I don't know which one that is, the Super King. That is sort of an entry price way of getting yourself onto mulberry silk with an and also if you've just bought a mattress and the last thing you want to do is chuck it out. If your mattress is on its last legs, for heaven's sake, get yourself a cocoon one, because then you start from scratch with silk. But also we've had an email. Let's have a look. 20% of the pillow. We're going to come to the pillow next, because if you don't buy this pillow, I can't say this to you because you're viewers, and I all I have to do is open my mouth and I offend somebody. So, but if you were my best mate, and I've said this to my best mate, I said, and I've said it to his wife, and I've said, I haven't said it to his children because they wouldn't really understand what I'm talking about. Actually, they probably would. They're very smart kids. But I've said, if you don't buy mulberry silk, you're bananas. Well, I used a different word, but you get the idea. And the pillow, even if if the duvet's out your budget, I get it if these are out of your budget. Although how many duvets are you going to throw away over the years that this will last you? And they're rubbish. They're never going to do a non-silk. In other words, a duvet that has any kind of feather in it, or a duvet that has any kind of man-made fibre. No matter what you spend, you could spend hundreds of pounds on a down duvet. It's rubbish. In terms, it might feel like quality and look like quality, but in terms of what it does, which is to help keep you cool in the summer and particularly to keep you warm in the winter. Well, it might keep you warm in the winter, but you'll overheat with it. It will not regulate your temperature. This helps to regulate your temperature. And after, a few months, it's going to be full of dust mites, full of bacteria. Not easy to wash them. You probably have to have them dry clean. So that'll cost you, for what you pay for one of these duvets,
about £40.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I know I'm on my high horse here, but seriously, this is why I say I don't get any commission. Honestly, I don't get a penny for offering these to you tonight, because I want you to understand I have no vested interest. If you want to have a lousy night's sleep or a lousier night's sleep than you, I am sure, will when you sleep with this bedding, that's up to you. I can take the horse to water, but I can't make it drink, Honestly, you really, really and truly need to check out and buy this now. And the reason I'm so sort of, not forceful, but kind of a bit pushy about it, is because I hope you listen to me. I hope you cave and go, oh, all right, Rob. Your money's safe. We're on ITV. First of all, we're on ITV. This is a collaboration with ITV and STV. And so we have to be very honest, even though we are honest anyway. We are held to incredibly high standards, and we're governed by Ofcom and Advertising Standards Authority and all these other bodies. So A, your money's safe. B, you're buying from probably the most reputable source you can think of. And C, if everything I've said and Ray said is a load of old C with a rap, you're going to get your money back. All it's going to cost you is a £5.
We've been around for 66 years, so we will double guarantee.
Double guarantee it. So Shaz, hi Shaz, how you doing? They say, just bought the duvet and pillows. I am a skeptic. Good. But excited to try. I'm always too hot in bed. Yeah, I have the same problem, Shaz. And always have a fan on, which I know is not healthy. Investment due to sleeping in bed for a third of the day. Yes, I mean, that's true. Look, Shaz, what I'll say to you is, if it gets Africa hot, it's not a cooling product. It's not an active cooling product. You can get to the point where hot is hot. But it will help to cool you down, because I don't know how it does it. We don't know how it does it. It's Mother Nature's secret, but it regulates temperature, so it will help you to feel cooler, and sleep better at night. That's the important thing. But would you do me a favour, Shaz? Can I have a little verbal contract with you? As you are sceptical and you've just bought this bedding, the duvet and pillows, when you find out in the next few, it'll probably take, I don't know, what day are we today? Thursday?
Friday.
Friday.
Friday,
so
yeah.
Early next week you should have these, or by the middle of the week. Would you do me a favour? The next time you see Ray and me on one of these shows, would you mind emailing back and saying you were right? Because you will, because that's what's going to happen. So I think we have a show next week. I'm doing it on my own next week. It'll be a bit later. It's obviously going to be a late start show if Ray's not here. But I would love to hear your experience, because people, especially when you're sceptical, we're going to exceed your expectations. You're going to be really, really happy. So good. Now, here we go. Pillows.
Right.
20% gone. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I expect you to at least buy one pillow. If you want to dip your foot in the water, or toe for that matter, at least get a pillow.
Yeah. Most people buy two, of course, because they want to marry them up. And within the bedding industry, I think it would be safe to say pillows are a minefield.
Oh, yeah.
It's very difficult to buy a pillow that you really like.
Yes.
I'll ask you a question, Rob. This will shock you. Well, I think it will shock you. How many pillows do you think are thrown away into landfill every year in Britain?
Gosh, you ask me this I don't actually remember what the answer is, but I think I said 1 million or something last time.
1 million. Well, I checked this figure before I came down here today. Last year, it's estimated in the United Kingdom, 7 million pillows went into landfill. 7 million.
Well, because they are literally rubbish.
Well,
probably the ones that
the
got
Bedding
thrown away.
Association reckon, Rob. Now, the Bedding Association, they're clever people. They know what they're talking about. And they reckon the average lady, married with 2 children, in her lifetime will buy 30 to 40 pillows, searching for one she likes. 30 to 40. Well, 7 million get thrown out every year, and they have to be replaced.
So even if they're only a tenner each, it's £400.
Well, in actual fact, where I live, my local supermarket, they sell 2 pillows for £10.
Yeah.
And I was in there shopping, must be a month and 6 weeks ago, and I live in a very small village, 6 miles from the centre of Glasgow. There's only 1,700 people live in the village I live in, and we all know one another more or less. And one of the ladies who served behind the counter as I was paying, she said, I saw you on television recently selling those pillows. Are they any good? And I said, yeah, they're excellent. She said, could you bring me in too? And I burst out laughing. Now, this is a giant supermarket. I said, you sell pillows here, 2 for £10. Oh, she said, the staff know they're rubbish. Nobody buys them. That's the type of pillow that ends up in landfill. Now, this pillow, I judge, when we're selling anything in television with a money-back guarantee, I judge the success of the product not on how many we sell, but on how many we get returned. Now, the Bedding Association reckon if all pillows were sold with a money-back guarantee,
Which they're not, by the way.
they're
You
not,
can't return them, can you?
You can't. They
That's
won't
how they
take
get
them.
you.
They won't take them back.
No.
Under the Health and Hygiene Act, they say no. They tell you to give them away to a pet for stray pets, where they can make
like a shelter.
Shelter, that's the word.
Right.
I was struggling for the word.
Both
Rob.
stray dogs.
Yeah, stray dogs. They tell you to take them to the shelter for stray dogs. If all pillows are sold with a money-back guarantee, 65% returned. But keep that figure at the back of your mind.
Yeah.
This pillow, we started to make it, we were asked to make it by a TV company round about 8 years ago, right? Now, we went back to our head office in Vancouver. We have a research and development department there, and we went to work making a pillow. Now, we took our time. There's an old saying, the devil is in the details. So we believe that. So we took our time. It took us roughly 2 to 2.5 years to get the pillow ready to be sold to the public. Now, we brought it back to the United Kingdom to launch it. And when we launched it, in the first 13 months, through our efforts at exhibitions, flower shows, knitting shows, that type of event, we sold 86,000 pillows in 13 months.
Wow.
Now, we didn't get 65% returned. We got 19 individual pillows returned out of 86,000. Not 19%, Rob.
No, yeah.
19 pillows.
So that was within that period of time.
Now, here's the reason why. It tells you on the label exactly what's in this pillow. We're not trying to hoodwink anyone. This is what's in the pillow. If you were to cut this open, in the middle, you have a pocket of fiber to support your neck and shoulders and give you comfort. All the way around that, you have layer after layer after layer after layer of AAA grade, long fiber silk. Not little pieces of rubbish silk cut up and thrown in a haphazard fashion. Put in a honeycomb fashion, wrapped all the way around to give you total comfort.
But how many miles in a pillow do you reckon?
About 3 miles. Now,
Strand's about a mile or more.
yeah. Now, each strand over a mile long, unbroken. So that means you can wash it as often as you want. My wife washes them on average 2 to 3 times a year. Now, this is the pillow I sleep on at home. When I come here, I bring it with me in the boot of my car. This pillow is 6 years old. I sleep on it 7 or 8 hours every night. It's been slept on for around about 17,000 hours. It's been washed at least 20 to 25 times.
It looks brand new.
Yep. When you wash it, Rob, see what I'm doing? It cannot and it will not lose shape. Your head won't get hot in this. It wicks away moisture. You won't sweat. And when you wash it, it comes back to shape instantly. Dust mites do not like silk. So if you have allergies, please buy yourself this pillow. Now here's the interesting thing. You can only buy this pillow from 2 people. From myself at an exhibition, or from Rob on Shop and TV.
Well, not really from me, from Shop on TV.
From Shop and TV. Now, I sell this pillow on our website at £60 per pillow and £5 postage. That is the true value of this pillow. The buyers at Shop and TV are very professional, very tenacious, and very tough. They're good negotiators, and they've bought these pillows at an advantageous price. And then they've done something wonderful. They've passed the saving on to the viewer. You can now buy this pillow, not for £60, for £40. And my advice to anyone is to buy a couple. Put them on the bed and sleep on them. You will be thrilled. 19 returned out of 86,000. Money back if you're not...
period, right?
13 months.
13 months, yes.
19 returned out of 86,000. Money back if you're not pleased. It's a joy to sleep. Do you know, when I travel overnight, if I'm staying in a hotel, my grandchildren laugh at me. They say, "Oh, Granddad, you embarrass us." I take the pillow with me. I tuck it under my arm.
Do you know, it's the perfect size to fit, you know, the carry-on, the rolly carry-on?
Yeah.
So the pillow will fit one side, but also I've got a Super King duvet, and it folds up. You can see the size on the front of the bed, and it will fit on the other side. I take my bedding with me.
Rob, a good pillow is essential for a good night's sleep.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, every single person, whether it's a young child, a middle-aged person, an old man like me, everybody dribbles. Everybody dribbles as you sleep. Everybody.
Yeah.
So the fact you can wash it, look at the condition of this pillow. Just look at it.
Yeah.
Rob is quite correct. He said it looks like new. It really does. It's 6 years old. It's been slept on for 17,000 hours. It's been washed at least 20, 25 times.
Yep.
Buy it, try it. You've got nothing to lose, and you can have your money back if you're not pleased.
And also, it's my great pleasure to just point out that really, if you think about it, the pillow's free. Because you'll spend £40 on replacing, you'll spend a lot more than £40 on replacing other pillows over and over and over. Whereas for £40, this one's just going to keep going for years and years and years and years and years. If you look after it, there's no reason it should ever expire. In fact, the cotton will wear out before the silk does. So 40 quid, I mean, come on.
Well, Rob, it's made from the 2 finest fabrics in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
You try your very best to find 2 fabrics that are more famous than Egyptian cotton and silk.
And then
you can't.
Very strong. I mean, cotton is strong. The second strongest.
No, silk is the second strongest natural fibre in the world.
Yeah.
The strongest, of course, is a spider's web. Yeah.
Got some emails, so this is completely unrelated. But Michael, hi Michael, how are you? Says, hi big guy. Just like to say, got the drone, the GPS one, plus 2 more batteries. Well done, sir. He said you're great at what you do. Well, thank you very much. At least one person thinks that, and possibly one more agrees with you. And was that my... Did you send that, David? No, that was really Michael. And then Johnny Glasgow, how are you doing? Hey, you know what? I know somebody else from Glasgow. He's sitting right over there. Hi, Rob. I had my duvet and pillows for well over 4 or 5 months and the silk pillowcases, and it was the best buy I have ever spent, as my sleep is much better and my friend has the same, and they've told me that they feel the same. Thanks, Shop on TV. Thank you, John. You know, look, hey, come on. If a third of the stock of the pillows gone now. If you've got Mulberry silk bedding that you've bought from us recently in the last sort of year and a bit, please, if you're watching, drop us a message. You can either go to shopontv.co.uk, hit the live watch now button, and the first thing will pop up. You'll see YouTube on the right, and you'll see a message box. Now, we can't reply to that when it just comes through. The message just comes through. There it is, there you see. So if you don't need a reply, just whop us a message. If you do need a reply of any kind, then just email studio@shopontv.co.uk, and our wonderful producer, Leslie, will be able to respond to that for you. And I want to hear tonight, I would love to hear, how demanding of me, I'm sorry. I would like, I'm asking you nicely, if you've got Mulberry silk bedding from us, please drop us a note to say how much you love it. I've never spoken to anyone. Now look, if everything that we talked about was a load of old bunkum, and especially offering a money-back guarantee on everything, we'd
be out of business.
Be out of business, because if these are sent back, you can't resell them.
No,
you have to destroy them.
Yeah. We can't even give them away to the Salvation Army. They don't want them.
No.
You know, if we were making false claims, we wouldn't last 5 minutes. We come back to the same television stations year in, year out.
Yeah.
Go back to exhibitions for 66 years. That's how long we've been in business.
Wow.
And
you started very young.
I started when I'm in Warrington tonight. When I was 16 years old, I was working in a large department store not far from here in Liverpool called Lewis's.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Remember Lewis's? Yeah, I was working there when I was 16.
Wow.
I started my business when I was around about 17 or 18. I've been going a long time. And if I was making false claims, I simply couldn't be here.
No.
Plus the fact, Shop and TV are in partnership and in the same with ITV. I mean, this is not some fly-by-night company you're dealing with. Right. You can buy with total confidence.
Okay, now the other thing, sorry, just to move, I'm being moved on because...
Right, Leslie's bullying
I love how Leslie, she has a bullwhip and I can hear it cracking. Leslie is the dominatrix of producers. At least she is in my head.
She's very nice.
She's phenomenal. She's a wonderful woman. So let's talk pillowcases, but I just want to say also, please check out your basket. What good is any of this going to do sitting in a basket? Why even put it in your basket if you're not going to buy it now? It's important, unless you have a question or something like that, we will happily answer it. That's why we're on telly. There's a reason for this. There's no point, because you go into a shop and ask the steward, do they call them stewards still? The associate, a question, and they go, don't know. or let me check with my manager, and then the manager comes and goes, yeah, let me just go get the instruction manual, or whatever it is. I've never ever had anyone who's been able. Well, when I've gone into the only time was when I bought my TV and I went to Richer Sounds, and they gave, because they're experts, and they actually gave me an answer and I could answer my questions. But that's why we're on telly. You don't get the answers from a picture on the internet. That's why we're here. I want you to be happy. Genuinely, the reason that I love doing this job is, and the reason I can be a bit cheeky when I do these shows and a bit pushy, is because I know when you get these home, I honestly, genuinely, and I mean this in a nice and non-conceited way, I know better than you when it comes to this betting, because you haven't tried it yet. But I have. And so if you just give me the I don't know, the time of day, and if you just go, oh, maybe he's onto something, maybe he's really being... I am being... I swear on my son, who's standing right over there, I swear on his life, may be struck down dead this second if everything I am saying is not true.
Still there.
You're right, son. So far, so good. I mean, really, honestly, it's not rubbish. Now, okay, apparently I've got a little bit of a microphone issue. So what we're going to do, what are we going to do, Leslie? Is Ray we're going to get Ray to explain the silk pillow. I need to cross your camera.
Okay.
So if you let me get out.
Okay.
And then would you mind telling everyone about the
silk pillowcases? No problem.
I'll be back in a moment. Yeah. There you go. Keep talking.
Right, silk pillowcases.
I can't because my mic's not working.
Okay, that's not a problem, Rob. When you buy one of our pillowcases, this is how it comes packaged. So I'm going to take this out of the package and you'll see exactly how it looks when you have it delivered. Now, can I just give you a little word of warning about silk pillowcases? When you buy silk pillowcases anywhere in the United Kingdom, you have to be very, very careful. Read the small print on the label. It's very important, especially the small print. What a lot of companies do, it's not very nice actually, they get cotton, polyester, a man-made fiber, and they polish it so it looks like silk. And to the untrained eye, you can't tell the difference. It's not very nice. And what they do, they get 40% of man-made of silk, and they add 60% of man-made fiber. They put a silk label on it, and they pass it off as silk. Now, all of our products are made by the official Mulberry Silk Company. And I always stress and tell people to read the label to make sure that what you're buying is 100% pure AAA grade Mulberry silk. And that's exactly what you have here. Now, when I'm doing a live presentation, people come up to me and they say, oh, these pillowcases, there's an awful lot of publicity with them in the last couple of years. I've read about them. They stop your wrinkling, don't they? Now, they get an awful shock when I say, I'm sorry, nothing will stop your wrinkling. And nothing will stop your wrinkling. But what you can do, you can fight against the wrinkling process. You can slow the process down. And silk does that in no uncertain fashion. In silk, as long as it's pure, Rob, you have 18 amino acids. Now, one of them yeah, is called sericin. You spell that S-E-R-I-C-I-N. Check this on your computer.
Do your research, as they say.
Do your research. Now, if you sleep on a cotton pillowcase, this is not ridiculous sales talk. Cotton will drain the moisture from your skin and dry your skin out, and your skin will dry and wrinkle. Sericin within the silk traps the moisture in your skin, and it keeps your skin hydrated, so it takes much longer to wrinkle. Yeah. Now, ask your hairdresser, that's a fact incidentally, ask your hairdresser what it does for your hair. Yeah. There is no static in silk, so you get no frizz. And if you have long hair in particular, you don't have to tie it up at night, so you don't waken up in the morning with bedhead. Now,
An Afro-Caribbean hair is...
yes. Now, anybody who is a person of color, Caribbean hair, the problem you have with your hair is quite simple. When your hair starts to grow, the base of your hair, you'll find the hair is quite wide. As it grows, it narrows, and as it continues to grow, it forms a kink and a curl and a twist. And then the hair beyond that becomes dry and splits and it becomes brittle. Yeah. Now, silk will help stop that happening.
And this is 100% silk.
100%.
Now, just a fusion of cotton inside to stop your pillow from sliding
every
out.
person of color, man or woman, they spend fortunes on their hair, you know. The average person of color, a lady, spends 3 times more in her hair than
I know. As you know, my son is mixed race.
Yes.
So I have some experience.
Yes.
And I live in Croydon, and there are lots of very special hair places.
Yeah.
There, yeah.
Now, the important thing to remember, hairdressers who specialize in Afro-Caribbean hair, they always tell the lady or the man to sleep with a silk bonnet or on a silk pillowcase.
Yeah.
Because it does help tremendously.
Yeah.
And if you are a person of color, do yourself a favor, buy one of these.
So we've got some questions and comments. First of all, Laura. Hi, Laura. How are you doing? And she very kindly has acceded to my request. And she says, purchase 2 pillows. Love how informative. Sorry, that's not Laura. John. But Laura says, purchase 2 pillows. Love how informative that this live is. Absolutely relaxing voice too. Could listen all day. Honestly, you should do radio.
I've got a face for radio.
That's not what I'm saying. I mean, you and me both. John from Hertford. Hi, John. How you doing? He says, just to say what fantastic bedding it is. We have had this over a year. Fantastic purchase. Thank you. Now, Len and David would like, or Len actually in particular wants more info on the mattresses. So we're going to talk about the mattresses briefly because he's about to buy one. So one sec, Len, we will do that in a moment. And please, Rob, what is the trial period on the Mulberry Silk products? So the guarantee on the duvet is 10 years. What is it on the pillows?
2.
2 on the pillows. But the money-back guarantee period, do you have a
Can I explain to you, Rob? I'll explain to anyone who's watching.
And David in particular.
We are a family-owned. We are the distributors for Mulberry Silk.
Yeah.
Mulberry Silk are a Canadian company, Canadian-formed company. Our head office is in Vancouver. Now, they appoint one distributor in each country, only one person. I'm lucky enough to be that distributor for the United Kingdom and have been for the last 36 years. Now, we are a family-owned company. We've been in business for 66 years. Apart from any guarantee that Shop and TV give you, I promise you, if you have a problem of any description, we get so few problems with Mulberry Silk, even after the guarantee period is out, phone us up. And I promise you, we will help you in every way. We are a company who believe that once we have taken a customer's money, we give them good after-sales service. Yes. When you phone our office, an actual living person will answer the telephone, not a record of pipe music. So the answer is quite simple. Shop and TV give you a substantial guarantee. We give you a 10-year guarantee on the duvet, 2 years on the pillow slip and on the pillow. But after that, it's not a problem. The pillow slips we have at home in my house are 13 years old.
So really, you know, I know a lot of places will give you like a 30-day money-back guarantee or 60-day money-back guarantee, but the situation is simply that once people have tried these products, if they're not happy, they give you a call. There's no real sort of specified.
No, exactly. What I'm saying is we will do our very best. We'll give you your money back. Don't worry.
Can we talk through the colours, please?
The colour. Oh well.
Yeah.
The colours are beautiful, aren't they?
Oh, they are delightful, delicious, and delectable.
This is we call it desert sand, and this is the one. I have 10 grandchildren.
Yeah.
4 boys. 6 boys, and 4 girls. The girls are all 14 to 17 years old, and this is the one all the young girls love, the desert sand.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. My wife,
Gold.
who's a little bit older than 17,
Ah,
this is the one she likes. This is restful. It's not, doesn't come out and attack you.
Sage,
It looks beautiful. It's restful with the sage.
Yeah, this is-
You have the Arctic ice, and of course you have the white. This is the white here. Look,
a quarter
that I
of
took out.
the Arctic. I would say Arctic. It's not Arctic. It's
Arctic ice.
Yeah, no, it is Arctic. It's not Arctic. It's not a lorry. Can I just say, guys, silk sheets. Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Inviting somebody over for a glass of vino, in vino veritas. Would you like to see my silk? Sorry, I completely messed that up. I got to. Sorry. Schmoove, eh? That's why no one ever comes over to my place. Want to see my silk sheets? Want to try them out? No.
My silk shock.
Yeah.
Take off my silk shock.
So, Len, we're going to come to the mattress in about 5 minutes. We're going to go very quickly. We just want to reintroduce the duvet and I wanted to say, look, 40. What do you get for 40 quid these days? You can't even get a Chinese takeaway or an Indian takeaway for 2 for 40 quid delivered to your house these days. This will give you years and years and years of comfort. And actually, this plays into when it comes to the pillows and the duvets. Linda wants to know, please, can you tell me how to wash and, importantly, dry? So, wash.
You wash them a cold wash, both of them, a cold wash,
Yep.
30 degrees.
Yep.
You can either tumble dry or line dry.
Yep.
The lady was called Linda, wasn't
Linda,
she? And
yes.
Linda, once or twice a year, if you are lucky enough to have a garden, on a warm, sunny day like we had yesterday, or hopefully today, drop the duvet over the washing line in the garden,
Yep.
and the UV rays of the sun totally purify and cleanse it. And can I just mention something else, talking about washing and drying quickly? Anybody who unfortunately has a member of the family who's bedbound. Now, people who are bedbound, and I speak with some knowledge here because my mother-in-law, who died 93 years old, for 2 years before she died, she was totally bedbound. So I know some of the problems that people have if they're bedbound. People who are bedbound, they sleep in bed, obviously. They get body washes in bed. They eat in bed. Their hair washed in bed. Little accidents happen. Well, you can whip this duvet off, wash it quickly, dry it quickly. It's back in the bed within a couple of hours. You never have to pay 30 or 40 pounds to have it dry cleaned. In my local supermarket, I noticed it's a franchise operation in the left-hand side as you go in. I noticed they had a notice up, special offer, duvets cleaned, £29.
So I want to say you can use your regular detergent,
Regular agent,
powder,
yeah,
tablet, liquid if you wish.
no problem.
No bleach, obviously.
No.
You can use fabric softener, 30 degrees and drying, tumble dry low.
Yeah,
Also, you can just put them over
as often as you want. And the duvets we have in my bed at home, Linda, and it's a fact, I'm not just saying this, are 30 years old. And I constantly get people who come up to me and they say, you know, I've got one of your duvets, it's wonderful. 15, 20, 25, 22, 23 years old. Happens all the time.
By the way, you can buy these now. This is a shopping show that it's like you don't have to just look at the products. All this stuff here is because we've set it up so you can buy it too. You're buying it from Shop on TV, which is a collaboration with ITV. So item number, if you're on the phone, you can call 0333241241, or you can go to it's just changed, of course, shopontv.co.uk and check out securely. It's all completely secure. You have to go to the checkout in the top right corner of the screen and actually pay money to buy it, and it will be shipped to you 3 to 5 working days. And in fact, it'll go out probably tomorrow, won't it? Or maybe
A high percentage will go out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Usually, I'm not counting my chickens before they're hatched, but usually we have massive shows here. Thankfully, I'd like to thank the viewers. We have massive shows here, so it usually takes us 2 days to get all the orders out. But I can assure you, starting tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, any orders taken here, we will start to process them 8:05 tomorrow morning.
Can I just say, pillow, so I wash going back to the washing, I put a pillow in a regular front-loading standard UK washing machine, which is about 7.5 kilos. I wash one pillow at a time. You could do 2, but I like to have them free.
Yeah.
And if they've discoloured through the summer from sweating, same with the duvet, you can't use those oxy powders with them because they're a little harsh. But they do vanish, and it's only because I use this one. I'm sure other brands are available. They do make a gel that is safe for use on silk. So just make sure if you are going to use a whitening agent, certainly not bleach, definitely not bleach, just make sure that it is approved for silk, because the last thing you want to do is degrade your duvet. And one of these on my clothes horse takes about, I suppose, two hours to dry, 2.5 hours.
Silk does dry very quickly.
Very quickly, yeah. Okay, so quick question. Well, no, so Les, TOG rating for the duvets?
Thank you, Les.
There isn't one.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also very quickly, gentlemen, the product is quality, and please try it out. Really works. JT from Hartford. Thank you, JT. So there is no TOG rating on
No, and JT is right to stress the word quality. Nothing beats quality. I would think it's fair to say within the bedding industry, we're a company who have a stellar reputation for producing quality. We don't cut corners. To give you an example, the silk within the duvet, it has to be washed before it's inserted into the duvet. Now we wash it using spring water, which has been filtered, and we can wash it 30 or 40 times before we are satisfied it is pure and clean and ready to go into the duvet. That's why we have this coveted allergy board certificate. You won't find this in any other silk duvet being sold anywhere in Europe. Our duvet has this coveted certificate because we go the extra mile to produce quality. And at the end of the day, when you buy cheap, it costs you money in the long run. Buy quality, it's going to last you the rest of your adult life. It really will.
It's... If you've just tuned in, we should recap. Len, I know you're waiting for the mattress. By the way, I've got the mattress. The producer's asking if we can just re-establish the duvet for everybody. If you do nothing tonight, try a pillow, because you know what usually happens? People buy one pillow, then they go, oh wow, they were telling the truth, and they come back for another pillow, and they've either sold out. You might be lucky. And then they go, I'll get a duvet, and maybe it's sold out in your size. So but look, I'd rather you try at least one thing. 40 quid, take a punt. You know, what's the worst that can happen? You get your 40 quid back, it's guaranteed. The only thing you risk tonight is £4.95, because we can't refund the money we give to the postman, right? So then graduate, you will come back for duvets. And look, if you want your kids to sleep better, especially, you know, over the summer, if you've got young kids, heck, I would advocate getting a single duvet, folding it out and putting it on the bottom of a cot if you wanted to. I mean, I'd put it in some kind of enclosure so it doesn't wrinkle up and there's no danger. But, you know, the baby I'm sure will sleep better on the silk too. Everyone will sleep better.
Well, remember, Rob, it is an all-weather duvet. You don't need one for the winter a second one for the summer.
Yeah.
Silk is a low conductor of heat. That much we do know.
Yeah.
It self-regulates. If two people share a bed, one likes the bed warm, one likes it less warm, and that very often happens. You can both sleep under this duvet and be perfectly comfortable. Now, it'll wick away 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. That's wonderful.
Oh, man.
Any lady going through the menopause, well, you know, it's just something you should definitely think about buying tonight. Take it and put it in your bed and sleep under it. And after you've slept under it, if you think perhaps I've exaggerated and it's not as good as I'm making it out to be, just send it back.
Yeah.
And we'll refund your money. No arguing, no fighting.
People have. Look, I'm sorry I've got to be a little pushy now, because, well, only if you want any chance of getting it, because these shows are always notoriously busy. Because look, at the end of the day, it's our top-selling product. It's the best. It's the best product I think I've ever had the pleasure of presenting. Certainly, one of the best products I've ever had the pleasure of owning, and I get to enjoy it for a third of my life because that's how long we spend in bed, 8 hours a day roughly, right? That's a third of your life, my friends. So you might as well make it count. And also, it's so bizarre how we'll spend so much money on things that are for when we're awake. I always say I spent £3,500 on a TV and a soundbar, but I skimped. I spent £400 on a mattress that I spend a third of my life on. I changed that, by the way, because I did get myself a Cocoon mattress. But do you want the prices again, Leslie? Is that possible? And I'll go through the stocks. It is now getting down to the point where you're going to miss the Super King. We've only got a third of the stock. Is that right? A third. Oh, the King, only a third of the stock is left. The Super King's also very busy, so is the single. But and only less than half the stock of the double available now. So that's 179 and 199. Again, upgrade if you want to. If you've got a king-size bed and you want a little hotel drape, darlings, then why don't you upgrade to the Super King? It's only another 20 quid, and then you've got that lovely overhang. Obviously, if you've got a Super King-size bed, then they don't go bigger to get the drape, but there is plenty of drape even on the size for which the duvet is designed. The singles 139, double 179, king 199, and Super King 219. Now, yes, it's a premium mattress. No, it's not a 30 quid cheapo job from a department store or a bedding shop. But that's because those you throw away after 2-3 months with pillows, and maybe you should anyway, every sort of year or couple of years with a duvet, because they're filled with dust mites, dust mite droppings, dust mite carcasses, bacteria, skin, and who knows what else. And they're unhygienic. You can't wash them. And if you buy, and you throw them away and you go buy some more, if you're not happy with them, you can't return them. With this, you can. You absolutely can. You will get your money back if you don't love these. So stop the hemorrhage of money. And these are potentially the last duvets, the last pillows, the last mattress you'll ever need to buy. Oh, certainly. Well, the mattress, it's guaranteed for how many years, the mattress?
The mattress is guaranteed for 10 years.
10 years. And it doesn't stop working after 10 years. You'll probably get a few more years out of it from then. But let's talk about the mattress now. Get your duvets, because when you're under them, you will be kept cool. They will help keep you cool in the summer, and they will keep you warm in the winter. You don't overheat. They wick away moisture, so you're not waking up all clammy and sweaty and all of that malarkey. They don't house dust mites. Dust mites just don't like living in them. You've got a 10-year guarantee on the duvet. So, but anecdotally, and historically, there are many customers out there who've had their Mulberry silk duvets for 15 years, 20 years, 25, even 30 years. So it's worth it, because in the long run, you're going to spend so much less by paying these prices than you are by not paying these prices and buying repeat, I can only say it really, rubbish. 65% on average, we were saying, people are not happy with their
7 million a year.
7 million a year in landfill.
And that means the 7 million unhappy people.
And also, when you get your kids, when they go, I can't sleep, I'm too hot or I'm too cold. Shut up, go to sleep. Probably because they're sleeping under a cheap old rubbish
And
duvet.
Unfortunately, that happens.
Get them these. They'll have them as adults.
That happens quite a lot.
Yeah.
People, they're not bad parents, but very often they'll buy a duvet is a little bit cheap for their children.
Yeah. Stacey says, loving the show as always. Thank you, Stacey. My question is, do you get a pillowcase on the pillows? No. So they don't have, again, you don't actually even need a pillowcase. They're just like any pillow. You put your own on. But so if you want to get the Mulberry silk pillows, they're
Tracy
great.
should buy herself a silk pillowcase. Especially, Tracy, with the hot weather coming in, you'll find a silk pillowcase is an absolute blessing.
Yeah.
You won't sweat on it. Your hair won't tangle. Your hair won't frizz. it's just an essential for the hot weather, a silk pillowcase.
Yeah, I mean, because silk
In my opinion.
help reduce all of that kind of. Next question: do you have dark grey pillowcases? We don't at the moment, do we?
No.
Dark grey, I think.
No.
So, sorry,
No.
we have got these.
These are the
we've got
4
blue,
colours.
We've got the brown,
Desert sand.
desert sand,
We've got the
sage, and then of course the classic white
Yeah.
as well. And the duvets, even though you can put duvet covers on them, you don't need them. But bear in mind, when you put a pillow on the pillowcase or a duvet on the duvet cover, make sure they are natural fibre. I get Egyptian cotton, because otherwise.
Well, you know, I do a lot of work in, we are a Canadian company, and I do a lot of work in Canada, and I would say 25 to 30, 40% of all the people who buy one in Canada don't put a top cover on it, because the cover on the duvet is Egyptian cotton, long fibre, 230 thread count. It's absolute luxury when you
Well, it's like in America, they call them comforters.
Yes, comforters.
But
It's luxury.
They have asked, Ivy's asked, and lots of people ask, can we make duvet covers in silk out and in the same colours?
Well, the reason why we don't make, now that's interesting.
Yeah.
The reason why, when we first started making silk duvets 36 years ago, we were a tiny little company in Vancouver, and Rob, we were naive. We didn't know any better.
No.
And we made the duvet with a silk cover. And after about 9 months, 12 months, people started phoning in saying, you know, your duvet is wonderful, but it's moving and slipping on the bed.
Oh,
because silk, compared to cotton,
it's very slippy.
Is slippy. Even the best quality cotton is coarse compared to silk.
Well, that's why.
So we made it with a cotton cover, so that when you sleep under it, it cocoons you, stays there, and doesn't move.
Can I say, Stacey, that for David, my lad, we got him, for his mulberry silk, we got him dark grey. And so I went to Amazon, and what you can get, 300 thread count, even better if you want, long fibre, make sure it's long fibre, Egyptian cotton, 2 pillowcases and a duvet. This was king size, 30 quid. And so that's what I would do. But again, you don't want to put polyester or artificial fibres over the silk, because it will stop the natural properties of the silk working, which is why cotton doesn't, because that's what's on the duvet already. So Patricia, hello Patricia, says, I bought the double duvet, blue pillowcases, 2 pillows and the double mattress. Good Lord, you've been busy. Good for you. Just wanted to suggest that handles should be added to the sides of the mattresses, as they're hard to turn or move without them. Apart from that, I love the quilt and the pillows. I would say, well, the thing is, these come vacuum formed, they're rolled up, so you don't need. I guess it's when you turn it. Obviously, you would never flip it because it's a pillow top.
You don't have to flip
it. But you
it.
turn it round, maybe, if you wanted to. Good point. Well,
good point. We'll
take that under
We'll work on that.
Yeah. Okay. The mattress. This is my mattress. I got myself this mattress, as you know.
Yeah.
What's so special? Oh, what am I doing? Sorry, what am I doing? Oh, sorry. Sorry, apology. I thought we were going to the web. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was earwigging when I had no right to. Tell us about the mattress, please.
Right. Well, we were asked to go into the mattress business by a very large TV company. We thought about it and decided, yes, we will.
Yeah.
Now, as you know, Rob, we do a lot of. We have lots of stands at exhibitions throughout the country. So we were in a very fortunate position. We could actually, before we started manufacturing mattresses, we could talk to the public and we could get their opinion. Now, we do about roughly 60, 70 of these exhibitions every year. For instance, right now, starting tomorrow in Glasgow, we're at a building show, we're at Burley Horse Trials, we're at a food show in Harrogate this week. So that's 3 in a week. We're at a show everywhere. Every week we're at shows throughout the country. So we have a good idea of what the public like and dislike.
But also, before
carry on.
I'm interrupting and I apologise, because I know what you're going to say. But also, can you incorporate in this? These are bedding, the official Mulberry Silk Company UK Limited, or not UK Limited. Limited. You guys are bedding experts.
Well,
Vancouver, you've got like a total savant who designs bedding products.
We're considered to be quite knowledgeable, let's put it that way. Let's be modest, quite knowledgeable. But also, clever people listen to the public.
Yes.
And then try to give the public
What they want.
what they want.
Of course.
So
I do.
We discovered there was two different types of mattresses, memory foam and sprung mattresses. Now, some people like memory foam, but unfortunately we found a lot of people, a very, very high percentage, found it made them too hot and it lost shape quite quickly.
Yep.
They used to sweat a lot on memory foam. In fact, that happened to my wife and myself. About 9, 10, 11 years ago, we wanted a new mattress. So we went to a mattress shop. She took me with her, lay me out in the bed. Didn't want, felt terrible lying there in public, but there I was. So I lay down on it for maybe 2, 3, 4 minutes. Felt it was okay, bought it, paid round about, if I remember correctly, 950, £1,000 for it. 20 odd pounds to have it delivered, got it home, slept on it, and after about 3 or 4 months, lost shape. I was sleeping in a recess like this. I was hot and sweating.
I have a bum shape in my mattress.
That's right. So was my wife. So we didn't like it. So we got rid of it and bought a sprung mattress. So we decided when we went in the mattress business to go with springs. Now, when I was a young boy, I was born in 1942, so that was a long time ago. The springs in the mattresses I slept on were very large in diameter. There would probably be about 100 in the average double mattress.
Serpentine.
And there was a serpentine rail that went around and they were all interjoined. So the problem was then quite simple. I'm quite heavy, around about 18, 19 stone. My wife's about 10 stone. And when I turned over in bed, when I moved in bed, of course, all the springs moved with me because they were joined together. And we got motion transfer, and that was no good.
You sat down and your wife went
up. So
up.
what we've done, when we decided to make a mattress, we got pocket springs. Now, this is what's inside the mattress, right? It's 8 inches deep. There's different levels, as you can see.
Lovely depth,
And then you have the pocket springs. Each one is individually wrapped, and each one stands on its own. They're not interconnected. Now, that means one thing. This might interest the viewer. I'll show you in this corner. When I sleep on top of this mattress, the only springs that move are the springs where the weight is directly above that spring. For instance, if I push that down flat, the springs either side don't move. So this is a medium firm support mattress. So when you sleep on it, you don't sink into a recess. Because it's packed with silk, you don't overheat on it. Two people who share a bed, one likes the bed warm, one likes it less warm. You can both sleep in this mattress and be perfectly comfortable.
And of course,
no dust
mites don't like to live there.
No, they just don't get near silk. Now, this is a cut-down version of the mattress. Now, here's the interesting thing. We do 3 different types of mattress. We do the regular, the premium, and the premium plus. The one we have in offer this morning at this special low price.
It's the pillow top one, the premium plus.
Is the pillow top. The premium plus. And we have that in offer at the price you would normally pay for the entry-level mattress, the basic one.
Should we look at the prices, actually?
So the prices are wonderful.
They really are. And this, by the way, you know how we were explaining, if you've been watching, with the Mulberry silk duvet, that it's full length. Basically, the cocoon comes off the worm, full length, 1 strand, 1 to 2 miles long. There are about 9 miles, I think, did you say 15?
15,
Depending on the size of the duvet, obviously, but like Super King would be 15. So inside the pillow top, you've essentially got the same principle as the Mulberry silk. That's extra, because if you don't buy the pillow top, there's still a layer of silk inside the mattress. But so you're getting double bubble with this, and it's so luxurious. So the double is, which the single sold out, I'm afraid. The double, you mentioned £900 for your mattress. That's what I paid.
$950 it was
That's
actually.
what I would have paid for mine, but they were on an autumn sale, so I got them half price. But you know, they're always a good mattress. A quote, good mattress, always conveniently at least about £1,000 or more, right? So these prices are just insanely good. The double, $749 normally for the top of the range pillow top. You're getting the top of the range pillow top, but you're saving £330 and only paying the price of the basic model at $419. The king, normally $799 for the top of the range pillow top. You're getting the top of the range pillow top for the price of the entry level at $469. Super King, $899. You're saving £400 again. That's the $899 is the price of the top of the range pillow top. You're getting the top of the range pillow top, but you're getting it at the price of the basic entry level mattress, which is $499.
And that extra layer on the silk, it's just absolutely wonderful. The pillow top.
Oh, it's so comfortable.
And I must just mention this too, Rob, and this is only my personal opinion. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical practitioner.
You just look like
I can't guarantee this, but this happened to me. When I was a very young man, 22, 23 years old, I had a slip disc cut out my back.
Oh.
Now, for the last 60-odd years, I've had a very troublesome back. Let's put it that way. Now, since I've started sleeping on this support mattress, medium firm support mattress, it's helped my back tremendously. I have 4 sons. My eldest son, Paul, 60-odd years old now. He's the same problem, a very bad back, and has helped his back tremendously as well. I can't guarantee it will do that for every customer, but what I can say is this, something we haven't mentioned. This mattress is guaranteed for 10 years. We offer it with a 60-day trial period. Buy it tonight and sleep on it. Try it for 60 days.
60 days.
And if you don't like it, simply lift the telephone, phone us up, we will send you a special bag, pop it in the bag, and we will come and collect it. And we will refund every single penny that you pay for it. I've slept on one for 6 years now. I can promise you, I'm quite an old man. I've slept in many a hotel throughout the world. I've slept in, I've been married for a long time. I've slept in many different mattresses that my wife and I have bought. This is without shadow of doubt. You'd expect me to say this, of course, but I can assure you it's a fact, without shadow of doubt, the best mattress I've ever slept under. I can't remember ever having one of these mattresses sent back in all the time we have spoken.
By the way, can I just, you know, this was years in development. Again, the gentleman who designed the Mulberry silk bedding, designed the mat. He is an absolute genius when it comes to sleep products.
Yeah.
And has forgotten more about designing sleep products than other people will ever know. So quality is of course important. But let's just say with the 60-day money-back guarantee, by the way, the only thing you don't get refunded is the $9.95 P&P. Again, we have to pay the delivery people and that. And also, if they come to collect it, I mean, you could barely send a parcel down the street for $9.95, but you won't have to pay to have it collected. That $9.95.
No, we take it away. And incidentally, what you were mentioning today about the price of the postage to have it delivered. I sent a book to a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago. It was just a book. Yeah. £12 for a book.
I know.
So have a mattress delivered for 10.
And it comes vacuum
pretty good.
Formed,
vacuum packed. And incidentally, when it does come, it comes in a large brown box. Take it out the box, throw the box away, destroy it. Don't keep it. Get rid of it.
On it.
That's right. Put your own bedding.
Use
and
it the way you would use your own mattress, including special time for your partner.
If by any chance you decided you wanted to return it, and that's highly unlikely, we send you a special bag, pop it in the bag, we pick it up, money back next day. Next day, no messing.
Amazing stuff. There's a planogram, as I think they call it, of all the different layers.
Yes.
100% breathable silk. You've got the coil springs for comfort. 10-year manufacturer's warranty. If anything goes wrong with this in 10 years, it will either, I don't even know if you repair them, it'll just be replaced.
No, just replace a whole new mattress.
Yeah. It is extraordinarily...
Well, Rob, you've had one now for about, I'd say 10 weeks, 12 weeks.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We first came to Shop on TV about 17 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
We came from another TV company. We had been at that other TV company for 22 years.
Yeah.
They got themselves in financial trouble for nobody knows why, but they did. So we came to Shop on TV,
Yeah.
right? Now, within 2 weeks of arriving at Shop on TV, the man who owns this company phoned me up. He said, all the presenters know your product. I'm so pleased you're with us. He bought duvets.
Yeah.
He bought mattresses. He bought pillows for himself and his wife. That's the man who owns this company. Yeah. Every presenter in this building, Haley, Sean, yourself, they're all sleeping in our products.
All the crew too.
They have access to all types of bedding.
Yeah. Leslie's got...
But this is the one. This is the one they buy. When I walked in this building tonight, we've moved from London to Warrington to make these programs. The company have rented a house for the staff to stay in.
Yeah.
There was an order put in for 6 duvets, 6 mattresses, and 12 pillows.
Yep.
People want this product. People within the TV industry. This is the one they buy.
Can I get on the old soapbox for a bit?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm about to be very belligerent and blunt and all of that kind of stuff. And I mean it, I genuinely mean it in a nice way. Because one of the things that keeps me doing this job is the money, be honest. No, I'm just yes, of course I get paid. I get to feed myself and my son, and we have a roof over our heads. That's lovely. But there are other jobs I could do, other jobs I do. But what keeps me coming back to this is very, very simple. What I've learned over 30 years, some of you may remember me, I was one of the first, I was the third wave, but one of the first presenters at the original first shopping channel in the UK, still going strong. Many of the people I work with still there, also still going strong. Hello, if any of you are watching. And so I was there about 7 years. Then I did... in the States, I ran a channel for a couple of years, but I was also a presenter, a bit like what I do now, actually. Co-runner this one. And where else? What I did a year. I've done, I mean, on and off. And then the place you were talking about that got into financial trouble, I'd left before that happened, and so that was a couple of years. So I'd say I've got, I don't know, 13, 14 years. But then also infomercials and direct response television. I'd say good solid 15 years of experience out of the last 30. And the people I know, and we were reminiscing earlier, we know all the key players.
We went back 40 years.
We went back 40 years, I know.
Giving our age away now, Rob.
Well, quite. I started when I was a zygote. But I've tried every bedding I've tried every product you could imagine. You asked me about a vacuum, you asked me about a pot or a pan, you asked me about a face cream, because I've worked in these places. We've had samples, we've had people, everybody try this, try that, try something round the corner. So I've tried every mattress, all the infomercial mattresses were the best thing since sliced bread. This is the best mattress you'll ever sleep on. And some of them are good, they are, I'm not knocking them. But I promise you, when it comes to duvets, pillows, pillowcases, well, I mean, there are other silk pillowcases that are comparable. But duvets, mattresses and pillows, there is nothing. And it's very, very simple. The way you know that I mean that and believe that and have experienced that is because I own the products. I've got all my bedding at home, Mulberry silk. Do you know what? I saved, I suppose... must have been the best part of 30 or 40 pounds a month during the winter, because we have, you know, that single duvet that I got from you for when I was in the pod. Yes, we called them pods, the bunker bins. So now that we have a little ottoman next to the TV, we fold that up and we put it on the seat. And David will come on and testify to this if you want. When it gets cold, we don't put the central heating on.
Just wrap it around you.
We lay it across ourselves in front.
Self-regulates.
Self-regulating. Saved me a fortune on heating bills.
It's a low conductor of heat.
Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah.
It retains heat in an entirely different fashion to say duck, goose feather, or man-made fibers. This is a very simple, uncomplicated product.
Yes.
What we've done, we have taken the two most famous fabrics in the world, Egyptian cotton and AAA grade Mulberry silk, and we've given them to a company to manufacture.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, we're actually still on the details of the mattress. Can we just
Yes.
remember what Ray just said? That's about the duvet and the pillow. The mattress, what I was going to say, a fraction or a half of the price you'd expect to pay for a premium mattress. Easy. Price is knockout. If you're going to buy a new mattress, now's the time to do it. This is the one to get. If you aren't going to buy a new mattress because you're like, well, my mattress is fine or it's newish, two things. If it's like my mattresses, they've been backbreakers for 7 years. I finally replaced them.
Happens all the time.
Get one of these now. Take your current mattress, throw it up against the wall, put it in the spare room for a week. Just a week, maybe 2. Try this one. If you don't think this one is better, make the call. They'll come and take it away. Go back to your old mattress. You will be, as many people have, so blown away by but you need to give it at least a couple of weeks, particularly if you're not used to a medium firm mattress. So Leslie, the producer Leslie, her partner Zach loved it straight away because he was used to a medium firm. Took her a couple of weeks. Now she loves it. So try, let's give it 3-4. It doesn't matter how long you give it.
You're waking up with less
days.
aches and pains, Rob, because your body's supported.
Yeah.
And I asked you earlier how many pillows you reckon go into landfill every year.
Yeah.
And you got it wrong by 6 million.
6 million. I know.
Many mattresses do you think go into landfill?
Oh, I don't know. 100,000?
100,000. 5 million.
5 million mattresses a year?
I'll ask you, in the last week,
How big are these landfills?
when you're driving around, you see mattresses lying at the roadside everywhere.
Gosh.
5 million a year go in landfill.
That is shocking. It really is.
Not this one.
And this is guaranteed for 10 years. It's
Yeah.
at least the last mattress you need to buy for 10 years. Right, Goss, let me cover off some of these emails. We're going to go back to the duvet. I was going to get on my soapbox, but I'll take the opportunity and look, just buy them. You are honestly, you are missing out if you don't. I believe you are going to anything you sleep on that isn't one of these. I believe you'll be sleeping on or under or on, putting your head on inferior products that are never going to give you the quality of sleep. Do you know what? You've never experienced the benefits that you get from this bedding from any other bedding product, I'm sure.
Allergy approved.
And Allergy UK approved. So Paul says, if I buy a duvet, do I need a duvet cover? No, you don't. They're beautiful on their own. For the longest time, we didn't. There, you can see them there. They're white, so you can use duvet covers. Mainly, the only reason we use duvet covers is if we want to change the colour. The colour.
If you want to blend in with the furnishings in
your
the
decor
bedroom.
or whatever, yeah. John says, Rob and Ray, I don't like silk, cheap stuff bedding, because it slides off the bed from past experiences. True, but if you can answer, and I'll buy the king size and 2 pillows tonight. Does the duvet feel like it slides off, or does it hug cocoon you? Well,
that was John.
John, yeah. I mean, it's the silk is inside.
Well, John, I mentioned that earlier. I'll just repeat myself.
Please do.
You're quite right. John, you are 100% right. If the top cover in this duvet was silk, it would slip. When we first started manufacturing duvets 36 years ago, we were naive, John, and we made the duvet with a silk cover. And after about 9 months or a year, the public started phoning up saying, just like you were saying, John, they were saying, yep, love your duvet, but it's slipping off the bed. Because compared to silk, even the best quality cotton is coarse. So we immediately stopped making the top cover in silk, and we made it in AAA grade long fiber cotton, so it grips and it doesn't move in the bed.
Yeah.
So please, John,
lovely and soft.
Put your mind at ease. Thank you for your inquiry.
Yes.
If you buy one tonight, you'll find it doesn't walk away in the middle of the night.
And the same is true also with the pillow.
Yes.
The king size is now limited. It's about to sell out. If you wanted the king size, you've got to pay now, or that checkout, or that's it. You've missed it. The pillow, if you buy the pillowcases, even they have inside, it's a specially a cotton blend fused on the inside only. They are, as you can see, they are silk, both sides, right?
That's important you mentioned that, actually.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
Right.
I forgot to mention that. This is happening quite a lot. When we're doing a live show, people say to me, can I see your silk pillowcases? When I hand it to them, they say, hold on, this has got silk on both sides.
Yeah, I know.
And a lot of people have been buying silk on the internet, and it's been sent from as far away as China.
Yeah.
And they get it delivered, and it's only got silk on one side.
But inside, it's really clever. There's on the top layer of the inside, it's got like a fusion of a very thin layer of cotton to stop the pillow from popping out.
That's an expensive process.
Yeah, I bet.
And the reason why that's put inside
Yeah.
is to stop the silk, just like John was saying, to stop it moving, wrinkling, so it keeps it flat to put your head on.
Now, I have an email here from Julie. Hi, Julie. Sorry it's taken me a while to get to this. This is I think, more of an essay than an email, but I'm glad because it looks really good. So, hi, Rob and Ray. I can definitely and very happily confirm this. By the way, these are from legitimate viewers. This was just emailed to us. We can prove it to you if you want. This is a genuine customer, verified customer, saying the following. I can definitely and very happily confirm that everything you are saying about Mulberry silk pillows and duvets is correct. I bought pillows, pillow slips, and the duvet on Rob's advice, and I would never go back to any other materials, and I won't buy from any other company either. I have a king-size duvet, and it goes easily into my washing machine. I'm at present saving up to purchase a Mulberry silk mattress and a pad when the double bed size pad comes back into stock eventually. Mulberry silk is the best investment I ever made, and I am so very grateful for Rob's urging and Ray's advice that persuaded me to try it. Thanks to you both, Julie.
And Julie's used a very important word, investment. Julie, thank you for your order. I appreciate it very much. Every order is appreciated, Julie. Investment is the correct word. What you've bought is going to last you the best part of your adult life. You won't have to replace it in 6, 7 or 8 years' time.
I was going to say, so the mattress pad, they're on our website. I want to point out, okay, if you buy the mattress, you don't need a mattress pad because it's essentially got the pad on top. But if you just can't afford to change your mattress at the moment, or you've just bought your mattress but you're not really loving it, which is probably a lot of people, the mattress pad gives you the Mulberry silk benefits on top of your existing mattress, if that makes sense. Very quickly also, Veronica says, can you, this old chestnut, can you tell me what TOG rating for the Mulberry silk duvet, please? I've just ordered one. I'm hoping it's okay for the winter as well as the summer. That's the whole point of it. You will never have to have one for the winter, one for the summer. And there is no TOG rating because natural.
Veronica, there is no official TOG rating for silk. As far as the winter is concerned, please put your mind at ease. We are a Canadian-based company. I sell them in TV in Canada. I have done for 30 odd years. And sometimes I go up as high as Quebec in the winter, and it can be minus 25, 30 degrees. Yeah. Now, people who go mountaineering, what I call the big boys mountains, Mount Logan in Canada, K2, Mount Everest, 29,000 feet. It's high. It's very cold up there. So you'll find people who go mountaineering, everything they wear is lined with silk. The tents are lined with silk. The sleeping bag is lined with silk. Within the bedding industry, silk is known as the great insulator. Keeps you warm in the winter, really warm, and cool in the summer. Nobody knows why. It's a freak of nature. The little bit of knowledge we do have, we know that silk is a low conductor of heat. So that's the only thing we can give to you as a help, as to understand why silk has this amazing ability. Right, Ray, soapbox time for both of us. Right. Because what Julie just said, Julie, I really appreciate that. I'm very I think I was rambling on about why I'd tried everything in the industry, and I forgot to say the reason I get a kick out of doing this job is because I know how it's thrilling to me. I really love it when I find that there's a customer who has had a positive experience like that. That's what makes my job worthwhile. But
let's get down to brass tacks. The duvets, guaranteed. So quick fire round, guarantee duration.
How long will it last?
No, guarantee. How long's the guarantee?
How long's the guarantee here? 10 years.
How long historically would you say, or not historically?
Well, the duvets we have in my bed at home are 30 years old.
Right.
My wife washes them on average 2 or 3 times a year. When I'm doing a live show, people frequently come up to me. I would say 5 or 6 people every day. They walk past my stand, they give me a little wave like this, thumbs up. So I've got one, had it 12, 15, 20, 25, 30 years. I had a lady recently, in Ripley in Yorkshire. I was at a small exhibition there. She came past my stand. She said, I got one of your duvets off you 35 years ago. She said, I'm back for a single for my nephew. She said he's going to university, sharing a flat, and I just want to get him a really good duvet and a pillow. She said, and the reason I'm buying one of yours, she said, I've had one of yours for 35 years. It's wonderful. So you are buying something which is going to last. Please remember that. You're not wasting your money. When you buy cheap, you buy twice. Buy quality, lasts forever.
The trouble is, though, with pillows and duvets, you don't just buy twice when you buy cheap. You buy many times.
Well,
also, TOG rating, going back to that, I just want to say to anyone who asked that question, there is no TOG rating. Because of the nature of silk, the answer is very simple. What is your ideal temperature to sleep at? That's what you'll get from the duvet. And if someone's lying next to you and they have a different ideal temperature to sleep at, that's what they'll get too.
Self-regulate.
Regulate to the person. That's how it works. So also, you've got to check out, because if you just leave it in your basket, you're not going to sleep under it. Very simply, this is not about bedding. None of this is about bedding. This is about quality of life. This is a quality of life product, and it's a product that improves the quality of your life. We cannot survive without sleep. It is as simple as that. I think the record was about 9 or 10 days, something like that, before the person expired as a result of sleep deprivation. It was in the Middle Ages. It was very barbaric. Or not the Middle Ages, but anyway, it was, So the point I'm trying to make is we spend a third of our lives in bed, and here are the criteria for a good night's sleep. It needs to be dark, circadian rhythm. You're programmed to wake up when it's light and go to sleep when it's dark. So if you can make your room as dark as possible, that helps. Sound needs to be quiet. The quieter you can make the room, the better, right? Smell, very important. Sense of smell is actually one of your strongest senses. If you can have a pleasant smell, a pleasant aroma in the room, that will help you sleep too. It's why a lot of people use lavender. Noise, I think I would also mention, that's why some people have either a white noise machine or they have plinky plonky music they fall asleep to or whatever. So those, temperature is the other main one. If it's too hot in the room or too cold in the room, then that will keep you awake or it will wake you up at some point. And all of those things interrupt your sleep. So you can control the heat in the room, you can partially control the noise, you can partially control how much light there is in the room, and you can certainly control the aroma. As for the rest of it, those are out of our control here. But then you come into Mulberry silk territory when it comes to what are you lying on. In the old days, it was straw, a sack full of straw. What you're putting your head on, a pillow since it was invented, is basically a sack with some filling. A pillow needs to give you support and comfort. If it's not supportive enough, your head's not at the right angle, your spine's not aligned, your airways are not aligned, you snore, you maybe wake up with a sore throat, you wake up in the night because, you're kind of gasping for breath if you have sleep apnea or that sort of thing. And that's the support. If it's not comfortable enough and everything's aligned and that's all perfect, if it's not comfortable, you're going to wake up because it's not comfortable. The Mulberry silk pillow gives you comfort and support. And then what are you sleeping under? If you're sleeping, and I guarantee you, I honestly, call me a liar, prove me wrong if you can, you can't. If you are sleeping under hollow fibre, synthetic fibre essentially, any of the feathers, goose, duck, down, all of that kind of thing, and I think those are the only two kinds of duvet that you probably are familiar with, unless it's a silk duvet, you will overheat, because there is no limit to how much heat they will trap. So you will get warm, and then you'll get to the right temperature, and then you will start to overheat. and you will get to the point where you have to take the duvet off because it's unbearable. And then, if it's winter, you'll start to cool down. And if there's no heating on in the room, you will start to get too cold. And then what happens? You wake up again, you put the duvet back on. And that continues all flipping night long, right? The other thing is you're going to get bacteria. If all the man-made fibres or hollow fibres, synthetic fibres and feathers, you are going to get bacteria breeding in them because you will sweat into them, and they are warm and they are moist, and that is the perfect breeding ground for bacteria. You are going to get a standard infestation. It is an infestation essentially, but it's the standard of any of these types of things, of dust mites. Millions of them, and they will grow and keep growing and keep growing, and then they will die, and they will make waste into your bedding products. And again, the mites are harmless, but it's the droppings that potentially are an irritant. This has got the Allergy UK seal of approval that it is effective against dust mites, because dust mites don't like to live in here. So all those other things, they're going to keep you from sleeping properly. They're going to wake you up. They're going to give you toxic sleep. You are going to sleep worse on anything else that is synthetic fibre or any of the feathers. It's just fact. And that's what you've put up with probably your whole life. You haven't slept properly your whole life yet. But when you sleep under silk, because it regulates your temperature, you never have to throw it off. You're supposed to wake up with the bedclothes almost in the same place as they were when you went to sleep. So the point is that there are 5 cycles of sleep, and you have to go through all 5 to get the full restorative, regenerative, recuperative effect. If you wake up, you can't carry on where you left off. You have to go back to the beginning again. Can you remember the last time you woke up when you'd had hours of sleep, maybe 7, 8, 9 hours, but you still felt tired and groggy? That's because the quality of your sleep was poor. Every bedding product that isn't silk that I know of, certainly if it's any feather and if it's any kind of synthetic fibre, is going to wake you up, is going to give you toxic sleep, is going to mean you're not getting the best night's sleep possible. I'm wagering, and here's the soapbox moment. I know I've been going on like this, a bit of a diatribe. Sorry, thank you, Ray. Do you want to experience what a proper night's sleep is, potentially for the first time in your life? With this duvet, I believe you will. Ray, single word answer. If people are not happy with their duvet, will you give them their money back?
100% instant refund. No arguing, no long conversations. Don't like it, instant refund.
I'll assume that one word was all joined together.
Oh, it's a long word.
And here's the other, and I say, now there are certain products I believe in so much, I say if you don't love it, for the first 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 people, I'll buy it back from you. But I tell you what, if anything that Ray just said is a word of a lie and you can't get your money back from RK Sales, I will give you your money back personally myself out of my own bank account, because I know my money is safe. If you're watching now and you are awake and you are alert and you have the budget to buy one of these and you don't, you're just accepting a worse night's sleep. So you have one decision to make. Do you want to sleep better? And that decision, when you say, yes, I do want to sleep better now, it means that you're answering the other big question that I started this whole diatribe with, and that is basically, do you want to improve the quality of your life? And that's what you will. There's no other product I know of, or very few, that can improve the quality of your life instantly the minute you start using it at an affordable price, and for, as you said, Ray, potentially the rest of your adult life, or if it's, you buy this for your kids.
Well,
they'll be using this when they're
Rob,
probably.
If for a person born in Britain today,
yeah,
the life expectancy for a man is 78 years. For a woman, 81 years. That means you're going to spend 26 years of your life in bed. 26 years.
Yeah.
So you owe it to yourself to buy a decent duvet and mattress and pillow. It's not asking a lot out of life to get a good night's sleep. And now there might be 1 or 2 viewers watching and they're saying to themselves, well, I've listened to Rob and I've listened to Ray and I'm a little bit puzzled. They're telling me the duvet is wonderful, the mattress is wonderful, the pillow is wonderful, the pillow slip's the best you can get. Why are the prices so low? Because these prices are incredibly low, right? Here's the reason why. We as a company only have one partner, we call them partners, in every country. We're a Canadian company based in Vancouver, right? And we export to different countries throughout the world. I'm the distributor of the United Kingdom, and I only have one customer, Shop and TV. Yep. Now, by doing it that way, normally when you have a product ready to be sold to the public, you pass it to a distributor. He passes it to a wholesaler. The wholesaler passes it to the shopkeeper. And each one of those people, quite rightly, add on a margin of profit for themselves. They're not bad people, they're just trying to make a living, like everybody else. Now, we've eliminated the distributor, the wholesaler, and the shopkeeper. The buying team here at Shop and TV have done their job properly. They've bought the products at a really keen price, and they've passed the saving on to the viewer. Basically, what you're being offered this morning is extremely high quality products. You've been offered champagne for the price of beer with a money back guarantee. We can't stress that enough. When you buy products for your bed and you don't like them, no company will give you a money back guarantee.
No, none.
Go back to a supermarket with a duvet you paid £10 for. Say, I don't like this. So say, sorry.
Yeah.
Keep it.
Why do you think they're so cheap? Because they know. They don't... I'm sorry to blow the lid on advertising and marketing tactics. They want you to go, oh, 4 pillows for 20 quid. That's a good price. They know they're rubbish. They know that you're...
Well, I told you earlier in the program...
But you can't take them back. They've got you.
Rob, I mentioned earlier in the program, some viewers may have come in late and missed it. I live in a small village, and I go shopping because my wife's not very well, and I have to do the shopping these days. And in the local supermarket, one of the ladies who knows me there, you know, I was in, she said, I saw you on TV last night selling those pillows. Are they any good? I said, of course they are. They're wonderful. She said, well, could you bring me 2 in? And I burst out laughing. I said, well, you sell pillows in here, 2 for £10. And she said, oh, the staff, no, we mustn't buy them. They're absolute rubbish. Yeah. But the point is, this giant supermarket was selling them. That's why every single year in Britain, 7 million pillows end up in landfill. People buy them hoping they're good. They get disappointed, and in anger sometimes they throw them in the bin and they end up landfill.
Hundreds of people have bought the pillow tonight, and rightly so. As I say, if you don't believe anything we're saying and you're like, but the question is, do you really want to miss out on all... Look, I know everything I've said tonight. I know everything Ray's said. As an intelligent human person watching, right? There's no one, I don't think, and I wouldn't believe you if they said it, that would not wish those benefits on themselves. So in other words, you've heard everything we've said and you're like, yeah, I would love all of that. And if you haven't bought what we're offering you, it's because some people just don't buy from telly. I mean, if I could, honestly, I could offer a bar of gold for a £5 and there would be people who wouldn't buy it. It's just the way some people are. Again, that's fine. You do you, babe. But if you want those benefits and you're still so sceptical you just can't get over yourself to make the call, at least act. Do something for yourself. We've only got 1/3 of the stock left. The rest are all accounted for. At least get 1 pillow, because you'll wake up in the next morning, you'll go, oh, I didn't wake up and turn my pillow over. Or I didn't wake up with a sweaty head.
Dampness, yeah.
You know what I mean?
There will, Rob, there will be viewers watching, hopefully, and perhaps they're undecided. They think, do I want one or do I not want one, this, that, or that. This may help you make your mind up if you're viewing this morning, sorry. We exhibit at every major caravan show in the United Kingdom. We have done for 66 years. And every year we go back to the same show. And for 36 of those years, we've been selling silk duvets, pillows, etc. Now, in the summer months, most of these large caravan shows are held Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep.
People come along in their caravan or their motorhome, say on a Friday afternoon. They put their awning out, get the table out, the chairs, all the bits and pieces, and then they have a little wander around the trade stands to see perhaps what they would like to make their caravan life a little bit more comfortable. And sometimes I get maybe a husband and wife, they're at the stand, and they're not quite certain as to whether they need a duvet or want one. And this is what I say. I say, take it, pay for it, take it, sleep on it tonight in your motorhome or your caravan, sleep under it, try it. And if you don't like it, tuck it under your arm, bring it back tomorrow, and I will refund your money with a smile on my face. Now, the very next morning, Rob, 30 to 35, 40% of all the people I sell one to, say on a Friday afternoon, they come back on the Saturday morning to buy at least one more duvet. Now ask yourself this question. What a wonderful product is this? You have a customer who all of their married life perhaps 25, 30, 40 years. They've slept under man-made fiber, maybe duck, goose feather. They sleep under this for one night, and immediately the duvet they've been sleeping under for 30 or 40 years is taken off the bed and relegated to the back bedroom.
Sorry, I have to interrupt. It's news update here at Shop on TV. This news just in. Limited stock on the single. So the single's limited, the king size is limited, and we're down to the last, the double's down to about a quarter of the stock, and about the Super King is okay-ish.
That's incredible.
And then the pillows, what was it, 2/3 of the pillows? So less than a third of the pillow as well. So this is essential that you check out now. Otherwise, if you come back later, do you know the biggest mistake you'll make tonight? You will make a mistake tonight, some of you. And I mean this in a nice way. I know I'm a condescending son of a gun, aren't I? But I've done this for so long. I know the mistake a lot of you will make. You won't buy enough pillows, or you'll buy the pillows to try them, and then you'll come back and you'll want the duvet, because you will. The minute you've slept on these, you'll go, oh, what's it? He was right. I'll go back and get the duvet, and it was sold out. Or I'll go get another pillow. Oh, they've sold out. And then, I don't know how much stock we've got, going forward, but you'll hit a point soon where...
Well, can I tell you something? I was wondering whether I should mention this tonight.
We can all read.
But I will mention it tonight.
Yes.
I've been sitting here thinking whether I should mention it. The only reason we have this stock available, the last show we did about 12 days ago, we sold a mountain of stock, and we didn't expect to be here tonight. And the reason why we have this stock was meant for America, but for obvious reasons, it's been diverted to Britain.
Well, we had a show drop out.
You know why it's been diverted?
Yeah.
Because of our friend.
And thank you. And
the orange chap.
Right, yes, you were quite. Yes, right, yes, yeah, the orange chap. Maybe he's limited stock.
Yeah.
He's just limited. No political jokes here, please. Dylan says, hello, Rob, I love your show on ITV every night. Can you come to Holyhead in North Wales doing live TV, and can you do some cooking with music in the background? I don't know if you could afford me, Dylan. I'm very expensive. I don't get out of bed for less than 10 grand a day, and I sleep a lot, therefore.
That's a famous name, Dylan.
Dylan, I know.
Dylan.
I would love to, if we had a chance to come to Holyhead in Wales and do a live show. I would love to do a roving show eventually. Go on the road with Shop on TV.
It's a good idea.
But I promise you, if I'm in North Wales, I'll get you to recommend a good pub, and I'll come and we'll have a pint. All right. Len says, tell them on your show I bought the King mattress. Len, praise the mattress lords. You are in for such a treat. You really are. And I promise you, you'll come and get a duvet and a pillow as well after that. Once you know what silk can do for you, baby. Once you go silk, you never go back to another quilt. It sort of works. Kate's complimented you on the quality of the silk, Ray.
Thank you, Kate.
Yeah. Okay, I wish I had a pound for every time we answered this question. Does the duvet have a TOG rating? From Simon? Simon? No, it doesn't. Only the synthetic fibre, they have TOG ratings.
The natural fibre.
It's based on the amount of filling there is in there.
It's not a man-made fibre.
Yeah.
It's just made by Mother Nature.
It regulates to your temperature, self-regulates. So in other words, the heat rating is whatever your heat rating is. Whatever heat rating you like and need, that's what the duvet does. It just...
You won't overheat. It just self-regulates. It's just the most pleasurable, nice, comfortable way to sleep.
I wish we had the ability to...
And of course, the big bonus is such a bonus. You can wash it as often as you want.
Yes.
And when you wash it, it will not and it cannot lose shape, because each strand of silk within the duvet is over a mile long. Let me just take maybe 60 seconds to explain how we get the silk. We take the silkworm, we place it in a large metal tray, and we place the metal tray containing the worm into a darkened room. We keep it there for 35, 36 days, and we feed the worm on nothing else except mulberry leaves. It will eat 10,000 times its own body weight in mulberry leaves, and its body weight will increase tenfold. After 35, 36 days, it spits the cocoon off. We place that in tepid water, and all the silk floats off in one piece, unbroken in one piece. Each strand of silk is over a mile long. Because it's a mile long, because it's unbroken, we can stitch it all the way around the perimeter. Now, it takes sometimes as long as a day and a half for two skilled operators to do that. When they've anchored it around the edge, they can then pull it towards themselves, and they put these box cassettes in by machine.
Yeah.
That means when you sleep under it, the silk cannot move. You get
it doesn't clump. If it
doesn't clump. You don't have to shake it in the morning.
Right.
It doesn't shift, and it means you get an even distribution of heat.
It feels like you get hugged by these duvets. I love the feeling.
Well, that's a good.
My body.
You know, Rob, that's a good word to describe it. It gently hugs you.
Yeah.
Perfect word, actually. I'm going to catalogue that word,
no
right?
No problem.
It's a cocoon. You live and learn.
You live and learn.
It's a cocoon fibre. It gently folds itself around you and hugs you.
Yes.
And it doesn't walk away in the middle of the night.
Right.
So you don't waken up with one leg dangling out the bed, duvet off, duvet on, duvet off, duvet on, covered in a thin film of sweat. You can't wait to waken in the morning and get in the shower to clean yourself off. You don't overheat under silk. It self-regulates. Any lady going through the menopause, don't even think twice. Buy yourself one. It will change your life as far as sleep is concerned. You'll get a really good night's sleep, and you'll enjoy having this duvet. It will last you the best part of your adult life. It's an investment. You don't have to buy another one in 4, 5, 6, 7 years' time. Silk is the second strongest natural fibre in the world. The top cover Egyptian cotton, long fibre, 230 thread count, 10-year warranty, money-back guarantee, no dust mites, allergy board approved. And incidentally, with this allergy board certificate, it's issued for 1 year at a time. Now, they do that for a reason. It's to keep us on our toes, to make sure our standards don't drop. Now, we have this, if our standards do drop, they can walk into our premises unannounced. They don't tell us they're coming.
Yeah.
And if our standards drop, this is taken away overnight. Incidentally, we're the only company presently selling silk duvets anywhere in Europe, to the best of my knowledge, that has this certificate. Now, we also have it for Canada, USA, United Kingdom, Ireland, all of the EU countries, New Zealand, and Australia. Now, the reason I mention that, it's roughly 35 countries. The reason I mention that, What satisfies the authorities in Australia?
The US might be coming on soon.
Yes.
Sorry.
What satisfies the authorities in Australia very often won't satisfy the authorities in New Zealand. But on this occasion, the quality of the product is so high and the manufacturing process is so perfect, they can find no fault. You can buy this in the knowledge it's been made by a company with a stellar reputation for quality, who take a pride in what they manufacture and who will give you the best after-sales service you've ever had. We will honor the guarantee, even beyond the guarantee. We will do our best for you once you've bought it. Buy it, try it, you have nothing to lose.
Well, the only thing, $4.95 is it, and as I say, that the P&P is capped, so it's always per order. You only ever pay the first $4.95 once. So I say the first $4.95 because on some, like for example on the mattress, it's $9.95, but the first $4.95 you only pay once. So that's another £5 on top for each. So if you, let's say you bought 10 mattresses, you'd pay $4.95 once and then only £5 extra for each of the mattresses delivered, which is phenomenal. So you could put 100 duvets in and it's still $4.95 per order. Now, when you check out, if you start a new order, it's another $4.95. But we've got about 80 plus of you with the duvets in your baskets that haven't checked out. If you don't check out now, then you're going to miss it. It's going to go. We've got more people trying to order than we have. In fact, actually, we've probably about a third of the people who have, I'm just hearing some stats in my ear. Well, how else would I hear it? I hear with my ears. I may speak out my bum, but my ears, it's definitely for hearing. Not when it comes to this, though. I'm speaking directly out my mouth here. So there will be about a third of the people in baskets. Now, that's not, of course, we've still got 25 minutes left. More people will add those in. We're oversubscribed on the king size and also the single as well. And also the double is going the same way. It's approaching limited stock. So we could sell out of the single, double and king literally by later on today. The Super King's got enough stock to last, so that one's not an issue. And the same with the pillow. The pillow's about to, it's all about to sell out. So, could I show everyone what, I know this seems ridiculous to even do this, and I don't wish to be condescending. I know I just come across that way sometimes. But can we show the website, please, Leslie? So I'm going to get this changed so that when you put something in your basket, it takes you straight to the checkout. So here, look, live on air, click that. Scroll down. There are the shows across there, by the way. You can see what's coming up. Buy a duvet, for example, or a fan or a water feature. So you add it to your basket, obviously. So you choose your size. Now you can buy now if you want to buy straight away. Also, you don't even have to set up an account. There is guest checkout. Although it's free to set up an account and you'll have an address book, you can send these directly to people all around the country, if you or all around the nation, the UK. So when you go to where was the basket, Leslie? Can we show them again? Up the top of the right of the screen, basket, and that will take you to this page. Check out securely. Either check out as a guest, which means you don't need to create sign-in information. Some people like to do that. If you do create an account, we just need your name, address, telephone number, how you want to pay. And again, your address book, you can have as many addresses in there as you like, and it's really useful because you also have the name of the person at that address and their phone number. So you can have this, if you don't want to take it to somebody, you can have it delivered directly there. There's your guest checkout. Pay. Credit card, debit card. You can use PayPal as a payment method. But also, if you want to pay later, go to, when you are taken to the PayPal website, which you will be, then, this is all coming up, that wonderful rattan furniture. Then create an account or sign into your account. If you want to pay later, pay interest free over 3 months, select pay later. PayPal will ask you a series of questions, a short number of questions. Apparently, it's a very simple process. And when you're approved for your 3 months interest-free credit, it'll bring you back to our website. The order will be placed, and these will go out to you over the course of the weekend, and you should have them by the middle of next week. So you can always spread the cost interest-free, but also with PayPal Pay in 3, it's the reason we use this. You could actually spend between they give you a limit of £30 to £2,000. So if you really wanted to, and you've got the money in the budget to do it, you could upgrade your bedding, but also you could do the guest bedrooms or you could do the kids' bedrooms. I tell you what, sending this to an elderly relative, now I know we're past the winter, but the winter will come again. Winter's coming. If you're worried about their health, and a lot of elderly people not putting their heating on because it's so ridiculously expensive. Now, I know that doesn't apply now, but also during the summer, a lot of elderly people overheating. And this will help with that potentially during the summer. So always round, I think when you've got someone you really care about in your life and you want to make sure they're comfortable, temperature regulated, all that kind of stuff, and all these benefits of Mulberry silk, that they're going to get those too. You can have it, you can literally pay for it, but have it sent directly to them. There's a reason I went viral, 3-4 years ago during lockdown, and I was dubbed the David Brent of duvet sales. I think if you put in David Brent duvet salesman, the Twitter thing will come up, and then millions of people commented on it, including Ricky Gervais. And but there's a reason, because I did a little diatribe about, I honestly, it makes no difference to me whether you buy this or not, in terms of remuneration, in terms of my job. I suppose if I was frequently here and people weren't buying from shows that I was presenting, that perhaps then my job might be in jeopardy. But that's never happened in all the years I've been working in this business, because I tell the truth. And sometimes very bluntly, and sometimes I offend people by that, and I apologise if I do. I don't intend to. I always have your best interests at heart, and I also have my own interests at heart. I want a job. I still, and I like this job. But I don't get a commission. Ray, do you pay me any money for offering these duvets?
Rob, I told you the last show we did, my father was a bookmaker from Aberdeen.
Yes.
We don't pay anybody.
So, makes no difference to me. I don't get any financial gain if you buy this or not. The only thing that happens is I've filled my 3 hours quota for my shift rate, and you've missed out. I mean, really, if you don't buy this, to me, you're just saying, well, A, either you don't believe us, B, you can't afford it, which is fine. Of course, if you can't afford it, fair enough. But if you can afford it, and you want all the benefits, and you do believe us and you don't buy it, I don't get that. That's like saying, no, I don't want to sleep very well, thanks, Rob. I'll just keep having a rubbishy night's sleep. Don't you worry. I mean, I'm just trying to think of the logic of it. And I think largely it's because people are scared.
A good night's sleep is just good old-fashioned common sense.
Yeah.
A good night's sleep is absolutely essential for your well-being. You're waking up in the morning, you feel better, you function better. And here's an interesting thing, Rob. And you and I were both talking earlier tonight. We're both men of a certain size. We were talking about diets.
You've shrunk, I'm shrinking.
2 weeks ago, I was driving along in my car, and I was listening to a program on my radio, and they were telling you how a good, restful night's sleep can help you lose weight.
Oh, yes, I know. Do you know what that is? Now, I can tell you.
You know what happened? I thought that surely that's not right.
Yeah.
So I went on and I researched it, and that's a fact.
Yes.
And I went into it in depth. And I went into Wikipedia, went into Google, and I read about it, and it's a fact. If you get a peaceful night's sleep, a restful night's sleep, if you're waking up in the morning and you feel good and you function better, it helps you. You still have to diet and watch what you're eating, but it helps you lose weight in no uncertain fashion.
Now, obviously, we can't say that buy this duvet and you're going to lose weight. If you can invent a weight loss duvet, then I'll definitely sleep on it. But I can tell you what, I know this because I've researched heavily into health and weight loss. That's why I've done it so many times. So there are two hormones that are basically your fat storage hormones.
Yeah.
There's insulin and there's cortisol. Cortisol, also known as the stress hormone.
Yeah.
When you eat, your body releases insulin. If you eat rubbish, processed food, it releases masses of insulin, and then it goes, what are we going to do with all this sugar? Well, it stores it in your fat cells, makes you fat. So insulin is your fat hormone. Cortisol is when you're stressed, it's released, also a fat storing hormone. If you don't sleep very well, it stresses your body, and so you're prone to gain weight. If you sleep well, reduce your cortisol levels, and also if you can reduce other areas of stress in your life, then it will also help you to gain weight as well.
And of course, as I told you once before, there's an absolutely cast iron certain way of losing weight. Everything you enjoy in life, you stop eating.
Do you know what, Ray? Because this is what I did. I did it right this time. I have now created, with healthy ingredients, a series of recipes that taste better than the rubbish I was eating.
Yes.
The takeaway. It saved me a fortune in takeaways.
I know.
Yeah. Lynn says, morning team. Again, genuine, legitimate email from a verified customer. We can prove it. So Lynn says, hi Lynn, thank you for what, and thank you for this, appreciate it. Morning team, I did a couple of weeks ago, I bought myself the duvet pillows and pillowcases, and now I'm back to buy my son the same. Told you. As it is wonderful. A bliss night's sleep. I've just bought the silk mattress cover for myself, as my mattress is very good, but I'm considering buying a mattress for myself and my son. But please, I mean, do that when you can, when the budget's right. And again, the mattress pad is a good halfway house if you want the Mulberry silk benefits, but don't want to change your duvet. Can I have some more information, like how deep it is? 8 inches deep. How long is the guarantee? 10 years, just 10 years. They say you should change your mattress every 7 to 10 years. This is guaranteed for 10. And also you get a 60-day sleep trial. So it costs you $9.95 to have it delivered. It's vacuum packed. It comes like a rolled up in one box. Depending on the size, like I got the Super King, it's heavy. You will need help moving it. Take it to your bedroom, throw the box away. Be careful how you cut the plastic so you don't cut the duvet, obviously. And it will unroll and it will inflate, and within a couple of hours it's ready to sleep on. Throw all the packaging away, and if any time within 60 days you don't like it, then you can make a phone call. All the information is included, and you'll be sent a bag to wrap the mattress in for transit, and then a van or a delivery.
We will send the van.
Yeah, it will be arranged with you. They'll come and take it away. That's it. Simple as that. Attempted to buy us both. So yeah, I mean they're great. Well, I got my one. I got my Super.
I can't remember ever having one sent back.
No, I'm going to get one for David as well. The only reason didn't get one for David, my son and our floor manager tonight, is because he's thinking about getting his own place. Paul director said, because you don't love him. Well, I didn't want to say
there's that as well.
He's standing right there. I mean, it's a bit on the nose, isn't it? No, I do. I love him a bit too much. That sounded creepy. No, it's because he's actually thinking about moving out, and I'm not going to discourage that. Because frankly, I want the place to myself again. But no, so I didn't want to invest in a duvet. But when he gets wherever he's going, he will get himself a Mulberry silk or cocoon duvet. Now he hasn't got Daddy to pay for everything anymore. What he does, actually. He's earning money. He's literally standing here tonight earning money. I still find myself buying things for him.
Listen, I have 4 sons. I have a son 62 years old.
Yeah.
And I still buy things for him.
You love them. It's always best if you love them, really, isn't it?
I do my best.
Yeah. Yeah. And he is, I'll tell you what, the annoying thing about my son, the most annoying thing about my son, careful. He said careful. He's a really nice bloke. He turned out really well. He's actually, it's like...
Well, I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I don't want to get too syrupy.
No.
But he is a boy with impeccable manners.
Yeah.
And I think manners maketh a man.
I could not agree more. He turned out well. I'd like to think some of it's nurture.
I've commented on it to my wife many times.
Yeah.
What a nice person he is.
Yeah. You can, I think about £5 will do it.
And could he send me the check in the post immediately?
That's right. Oh, let's go back to the pillow. Why have you not got a pillow? I know you know who you are. The ones that haven't bought a pillow. The pillow, the most hated thing in your bedroom, probably. The thing you replace the most. The thing. We can all remember, right? I'm sure you can remember. You've had a synthetic pillow, and after a month, 2 months, it kind of. It reduces in size. You probably need 2 or 3 of them just to get enough loft to get any kind of support in the first place. And they get smelly and they get discoloured, and all of the stuff starts clumping. You can't wash the things, and you end up throwing them away, and then you go buy more.
Yeah.
Why? Stop it. Put your finger in the financial dike, so to speak, and stop the hemorrhage of money.
Well,
get a pillow today.
Most people, to begin at the beginning, without going into it, long-winded explanation, 7 million pillows are thrown out into landfill every year in Britain. So that's really a terrible figure.
It's a disposable nation, isn't it? That's why this is good old-fashioned, buy one, last you forever.
Well, people are in the supermarket, they're walking around with their basket and the trolley, and they see the pillows on display. A young girl, she's always sleeping like this, you know, hair beautifully permed, all her makeup on. She looks $1 million, and she's sleeping like this. 2 pillows for £10. So they buy them, and not immediately, within a couple of weeks, they wish they hadn't bothered. Now, this pillow we have an offer tonight, or this morning, sorry, is sold with a money-back guarantee. You try and take a pillow back, say to a supermarket you bought, and say, I don't like this, I'd like my money back.
But Ray, as the distributor, the official distributor in the UK for Mulberry Silk products, from the official Mulberry Silk Company Limited, you're putting your business, your neck, your livelihood, your well-being on the line, because if all those pillows got returned,
well,
you'd be out of business.
We were talking in the green room earlier tonight about our history in shopping TV.
Yes.
And it goes back 40-odd years. 15 in my part, nearly.
30 for me.
Yeah. Now, we were talking about people we'd worked with 30, 40, 50 years ago. I always judge any product when I'm selling it in TV. I always judge the success of any product, not on how many I've sold, but how many get returned if I'm selling them with a money-back guarantee. Now, I remember once I was in a green room in America. This American guy said to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm here to sell pillows, etc." He said, "What's your gimmick?" And I was taken aback. And I said, "Well, we don't have a gimmick." And about 30 seconds later, as he was talking to me, I said, "Hold on." I said, "We do have a gimmick. I've changed my mind. We do have a gimmick." I said, "Our gimmick is we don't have a gimmick." I said, "We rely on quality." And that's exactly what this pillow is.
What were we talking about in the green room earlier? Made in Britain.
Made in Britain.
Remember that?
Yes.
Do you remember when I grew up? I mean, I'm old enough to remember when I grew up, and certainly you're a little older than I am. You will have known this through.
I'm older than Moses.
When I grew up, if it said made in Britain or made in England or made in Scotland,
you were proud.
It was a sign of quality. It meant something. Around the world, if you owned a product that said made in Britain, and that was like premium. And then over the years, various governments sold off most of our manufacturing, and the quality went.
Well, the Bedding Association reckon. The Bedding Association reckon, and they're clever people. They know what they're talking about. If all pillows were sold with a money-back guarantee, the percentage it would be returned could be as high as 60 or 65%.
And that's why they don't carry a money-back guarantee.
That's why. Yeah. Now keep that figure at the back of your mind. Now, if you were to cut this pillow open, it tells you here on the label exactly what's in it. We're not trying to hoodwink anyone or pull the wool over Andy's eyes. In the middle, you have a little pocket of fibre to give you support for your neck and shoulders. Now, all the way around that, you have layer after layer after layer after layer of AAA grade Mulberry silk. And if you go into Google or Wikipedia and type in all about silk, they will tell you AAA grade Mulberry is the king of silks, the best.
Ray, because we're running out of time, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to, most people have probably gone to bed by now, but I should have done this earlier. But I want to talk about some of the scams that there are out there, because the thing about marketing is a nice word for saying, basically pulling, in many cases, not scams per se, but it's taking basic and making it
tricks of the trade,
stretching the realms of
stretching
truth,
the truth.
Yes,
being economic with the truth.
Economic with the truth. So let's talk about, if people were to Google now Mulberry Silk duvet, you will find Mulberry Silk duvet. But buyer beware. This is 100% Mulberry Silk, full-length fibres with 100% long fibre Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count cover on the top. I know, Martin, your son went into a department store in Glasgow.
Oh, yes.
Tell us that story.
I always tell people when I'm doing a presentation on TV, I stress, keep repeating it because it's so important.
Yes.
I tell people always read the label, be careful, read the label. Because what a lot of companies do, Rob, they get cotton, polyester, man-made fiber, they polish it so it looks like silk.
Yeah.
And they add a small amount of silk to a large amount of man-made fibers, and they put a silk label on the product.
Right.
It's not very nice what they do.
No.
Now, all of our products are made by the official Mulberry Silk Company Limited, right? We're the distributors for the United Kingdom. Everything we have on offer, you can only buy from myself at a live exhibition or from Shop and TV. And if you buy from Shop and TV, they sell them on TV less than I charge at an exhibition. Yeah. Right, now coming back to the shop in Glasgow, not this Christmas, last Christmas, there's 2 large shopping centres in Glasgow, right? In one of those shopping centres, there's a very high-class, a shop that's got a wonderful reputation for selling quality products. They really do excel in quality products. And Martin went into that shop to buy his mother a house coat, a dressing gown, for Christmas. And when he was in, he spotted they were selling silk duvets.
And it was Mulberry silk duvet too, wasn't it?
And he went over to look at them. And then he did what I tell the public to do. He read the label, right? Now, what do you think they were charging for a king duvet?
Well, admittedly, I do know roughly, but I'll play a lot. I mean, for 400 quid?
£512.
Good grief.
For the same duvet, a king, that you're charging £199 for. So that's £313 more than you're charging.
Yeah.
Right, but here's the
kicker.
The criminal part. When Martin read the label, there was only 12% silk in it. And yet in Britain they can get away with that. Yeah. They can't do that in France or Holland or Germany.
No.
But in Britain they can.
That's what I'm
Little
saying.
loophole in the law.
If you Google
read the label.
Mulberry silk duvets, check the content of the silk.
And with the pillow, buy it and try it. We sold 86,000 in 13 months with a money-back guarantee. We got 19 returned. That'll tell you everything you need to know about the pillow.
Lynn wants to know if she can put a pillow protector onto the pillow before putting...
And if you do, it won't affect the performance of the pillow.
What are pillow protectors made out of? They've got to be...
Cotton, but the important thing is the reason why you put a pillow protector on is because people, when they sleep, they dribble onto the pillow. And but with this pillow, you can wash it in the machine as often as you want. So you don't need a pillow protector. Yeah. And because you don't need a pillow protector, your head's on it. It's beautifully soft. It's beautiful, Rob.
So answer it. You save your money on your pillow protector. But if you put anything in terms of a cover or a sheet, because actually Chris was asking, what are the best sheets? It doesn't matter what you put on them, as long as they are natural materials, natural fibres. So I recommend for the pillows or for the duvets, go with Egyptian cotton. And I'll tell you, we've talked about long fibre versus short fibre. If you can get a short fibre or afford a short fibre, that's fine. But you can get long fibre, Egyptian. I think the sheets I got for David were long fibre, Egyptian cotton. I think they were 400 thread count in a grey, because that's the only way you can change the colour. They were 30 quid. So put cotton, no polyester. Because you put polyester that doesn't breathe onto a silk duvet, it'll make you sweat. All of the properties of silk will be lost. Okay? There you go.
All I can say to any of you who are watching, we've been in business a long time. We've been selling these on TV for a long time. They have a wonderful reputation. You do have a money-back guarantee, so do try them. You'll love them once you have them. And the minute you unwrap them and touch them, you'll know instantly you've made a wise decision buying them, because they're just beautiful to own and have in your home.
It's the cheapest way, or I suppose I should say the most affordable economical and affordable way to a better night's sleep for the rest of your life. And that's, the decision's yours now. There's no more we can do or say. Everything we've said is true. You'll find that out when you buy
Allergy board approved. Anybody with allergies, don't waste your money on any other duvet.
Yep.
Allergy board approved. No dust mites in silk.
Yep.
No breathing problems. Not a problem when you have silk.
Yep. I mean, well, as we say, it's like the desert, isn't it? One or two might wander in by mistake.
Tourists.
Tourists, exactly, but they'll soon leave again, you know.
They don't. Dust mites don't like. That's not me saying it. That's not you saying it.
No, sure.
There it is in black and white from the allergy board. Dust mites don't like silk. Simple.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to check out. Unfortunately, the one thing I can't do, it's the only thing I can't do, is let you have this for free. You know, my boss would not be very happy. I mean, it's just...
Wouldn't be too pleased myself.
Well, I was going to say, you probably wouldn't be very happy either. You've got to pay for it. So it's get down to brass tacks. You've got to decide only as soon as you're ready, now or in the next few moments, or maybe at some point when you just suddenly remember, you know what, I really think I should buy that duvet, buy that pillow, buy maybe the pillowcases as well, and if you can afford it, get the mattress too. And so it's as Cilla Black used to say on Blind Day, it's make your mind up time. Do you want to sleep better, or do you want to continue having a worse night's sleep? Because I maintain that unless you're sleeping under silk, if it's man-made, we say man-made, I mean synthetic fibre, or any of the feather kinds of duvets, you're not sleeping as well as you will under this lot. Ray, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rob.
It's been so good to see you.
I enjoyed that very much.
I did too.
And thank you to all the viewers who placed orders.
Yes.
It's really appreciated. We'll get your orders out starting tomorrow morning,
Amazing.
8:05.
Got to stop you. I'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.
Okay.